Tonight from Fenway Park, it's game 2 of this quick 2-game series between the Red Sox and the Orioles. Sox trying to win them both with the knuckleballer Stephen Wright on the hill. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Yawkey Way. Great to have you with us. I'm Dave O'Brien alongside the Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley. Garen Austin alongside in just a couple of moments. And Eck, last night we saw Drew Pomeranz very impressive in his very first outing at Fenway Park this season. In fact, his season debut. Stephen Wright gets the ball for the first time at Fenway this year tonight.
Well, we're glad to have him back. Yeah, I tell you what, he's probably like to forget. He had to live with that injury that he had, that base running debacle for so long. He'd like to put that from behind him. And it's not long forgotten that he won 13 games last year and didn't even pitch the last month. So he was a big part of that rotation. And in spring training, when he got hurt, Pomeranz got hurt, we're thinking we haven't got enough depth in that rotation. Right. But there's no telling what he could do. You know, his brief time in the big leagues, he's 20-11. I mean, it's kind of like secretly he's been doing this. But this, you know, no one knows how many games this guy could win, but he's a big part of this rotation.
13 last year. For long stretches, he was the best Red Sox starter a season ago and made the All-Star team. He's on the bump tonight. When we come back, more talk about the flu, but this guy's gotten over it and looks like he is in good form again. Hanley Ramirez with Garen Austin when we return to Fenway Park. Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Your New England Audi dealers in the all-new 2018 Audi Q5. Old Dominion Freight Lines, helping the world keep promises. Ford Trucks, built Ford Tough, the official truck of the Boston Red Sox. And by Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. A cooler night here at Fenway. Hanley Ramirez back in the lineup for the second consecutive night as we bring in Garen Austin. Garen, that flu bug really knocked him sideways, didn't it?
Oh, Obie, nobody was impacted more by the flu bug than Hanley Ramirez, who missed the entire series in Detroit. He made an immediate impact when he returned to the lineup last night, and he talked to me about how excited he was to be back and how important last night's win was for this team.
Mentally, I stay, you know, locked in. You know, I don't play around with my timing or nothing like that. You know, I came in when the day before yesterday, and you know, got some work in to be ready for yesterday's game.
And how great is it though to be back with your team and helping them out? Just how tough was it just to be watching?
It was tough. You know, it was tough. You know, well, that kind of series. You know, where you know 3 guys out of the lineup, but at the same time they kept fighting. You know, that's the good thing about this team. We don't give up. You know, it don't matter who's playing. Everybody's who's gonna go out there and try to do little things.
And how big of a boost was that win last night for you guys?
It was good. It was good. You know, the sooner I walk into the club, I try to fight it up, everybody's up. You know, and you know, try to get everybody going.
Ramirez said that he wanted to fire up the clubhouse when he got here last night. Obviously, it worked in a very impressive win over the Orioles, and they'll hope to carry that momentum into the night. Stephen Wright is on the mound. Red Sox Orioles coming up.
Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. 47. Citizens Bank. Visit citizensbank.com. And by Mazda, driving matters. We had some late afternoon showers here at Fenway. They did have the tarp on the field. That has long since been rolled up. Plenty of blue sky. It's certainly cooled off since yesterday inside the ballpark. It's going to be a little bit chilly later on tonight, but right now very comfortable. And a good night to pitch. Stephen Wright on the hill looking for his first win of 2017. Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien, Garen Austin with you. And you could just see how uptight he was in that shot from yesterday. We were watching Stephen, you know, warm up today with Carl Willis just about a half hour ago. Nothing seems to really bug him.
I mean, this is how, you know, knuckleball pitchers are. I mean, you think about it, they have to be in their own zone. They can't get too amped up, and he doesn't, to say the least.
To say the least. And out he comes, leading the Red Sox onto the diamond. And time for a look at the Oriole lineup he will face tonight. It's brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Seth Smith is in right field to lead it off with Adam Jones in center. Manny Machado is the third baseman. Chris Davis at first. Mark Trumbo, the slugger, the designated hitter. Wellington Castillo doing the catching. Trey Mancini, the young left fielder, bats seventh. Jonathan Scope, a power hitting second baseman, 25 home runs last year, out of the 8th spot. And J.J. Hardy made a crucial error last night. He bats out of the 9 hole, and he is the shortstop. Red Sox starter presented by your New England Audi dealers. Stephen Wright looking for that first win. First start of the season at Fenway, is second overall. He had no decision in his season debut at Detroit.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They've made 4 errors in the first 7 games. Around the infield, Sandoval, Bogarts, Pedroia, Moreland. In the outfield, Chris Young in left, Andrew Benintendi in center, Mookie Betts in right. Behind the plate, Sandy Leone, Stephen Wright on the mound.
Your umpires are brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Adrian Johnson has the balls and strikes. Gabe Morales at first, Gary Cederstrom at second, Eric Cooper, the third base umpire. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit Copper2Toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV. And the weather, as mentioned, brought to you by Benjamin Moore. Paint like no other. Right now, 60 degrees in the ballpark. As mentioned, very, very comfortable. Just a bit of a breeze out to center. Shouldn't be a factor. And mostly cloudy at the moment, but we do have some sun and blue sky as well.
It's amazing they didn't hit a ball out of the ballpark last night. Either team. You're talking about a team that led the league in home runs. Baltimore and the Red Sox really have only hit 3 on the season.
Seth Smith will lead things off. He has 1 home run this year. 34-year-old left-hand hitter to start it against Stephen Wright. A lot of the fans still making their way to their seats here on Yawkey Way. And Johnson says play ball, and here we go. That hits him. He got hit for the first pitch. So Smith is quickly on as that one got away from Mr. Wright.
Try to throw the ball right down the middle, and look how much this ball moves. I mean, this is amazing. He's trying to throw it right there, and it moves about a foot. Hits him on the thigh. And that tells you everything. You're not sure where it's going from the get-go.
Adam Jones next, the talented center fielder, 261 with a homer, 3 runs driven in. And then Manny Machado for the Orioles. The Yankees beat Tampa Bay today 8-4. Yankees at 4-4, Tampa Bay 5-4. Sox are 4-3. This Oriole team 4-2. Toronto is 1-6. Cold start for the Blue Jays.
That's too bad. Because you know they're going to be there. They got as good as anybody in this division.
The 0-1 to Jones. That moved a lot too, right past Leone, and that'll advance the runner. No shot for Sandy Leone to make that play, and Smith is into second.
Yeah, you talk about 2 out of 3 pitches that he just can't get a clue with. You talk about that ball is uncatchable. I mean, we have to be diving to catch these balls. Wild pitch early on in this game, and this is a team that he's dazzled against. You know, he threw a complete game shutout against them in Baltimore. He's 2-0 against them lifetime.
Jones has seen him 9 times. He's 2 for 9 with a home run.
And that's about the extent of it. Nobody has really done anything to him.
Smith getting his lead off second base, and the 1-2. Cut on and miss. That one disappeared.
Did it ever? I mean, this is magic. I mean, look at this. Ball starts up, ends up down. I mean, that is just, hitters must be just shaking their head. I mean, and especially Baltimore, the way he's owned them.
Well, Machado knows that feeling, and he knows that pitch firsthand because he's 0 for 9 against Wright. Hitting right at 200 with a home run so far. Runner at second, 1 away. Machado just 24 years old, but he's been a regular in the Oriole lineup since the end of the 2012 season. And he's going to have a long and outstanding career if he avoids injury. A bullet down the line. He jumped on that one, headed for the wall, but that's a foul ball. And Wright catches a break.
That ball has to be inches. I hit it so hard I didn't think he had time to pull it. But this ball obviously goes down the corner. It's foul easy. Thank you very much.
He helped it.
Yes, he did.
Go foul, go foul.
You got to beg, man.
You've done it.
I've been begging, still begging.
1-1 on Machado. Chris Davis on deck. And this lineup of home run hitters for the Orioles. Earl Weaver would have loved this club.
Oh yeah, 3-run bombs, right?
Yep.
Loved it. This kid tries to lift, but every year he's gotten better and better.
The 2-1 to right center field. Well struck. Benintendi's not going to get it. It's off into the triangle. It does jump over into the bullpen. So it'll be a 2-base hit from Machado.
And that ball was scorched. He saw Andrew Benintendi. He just put his head down. You can tell right away. As soon as you look at the center fielder, this is a knuckleball that didn't really do anything. And he put, look at the barrel on that ball. He crushes this thing. Lucky this ball isn't out of the ballpark. He couldn't get it hit high enough. Over Benintendi's head easy.
And a run scoring just as easily to make it 1-0 Orioles. His 5th RBI of the season. So that hit batsman with that first pitch comes back to haunt him as Davis takes a strike.
We had some trouble in the first inning in Detroit too, didn't he? Didn't really have a command of it.
That's correct. Settled down after that. Did go 6 2/3. Gave up 7 hits, 4 runs. He walked 3 men.
Big home run he gave up.
Oh no. No.
1-1 to count on Davis. On the topic of home runs, he hit 38 last season. So Machado picks up his first career hit in 10 at bats against Wright. He's at second. Up the middle, picked up by Bogaerts. He was right there in that particular shift. That paid off beautifully, and down to third is Machado.
Boy, you see that, just it's like an ordinary thing nowadays. Shortstop playing right behind second base. I thought base hit. As soon as he hits this ball, you're thinking base hit when you're on the mound. Luckily, Stephen Wright didn't get in the way and lets Bogey take it.
5 years ago, that's a single.
Oh,
it's
totally.
an RBI.
Yeah, and that was sharply hit.
Because nobody shifted quite as dramatically or often 5 years ago. Not Trumbo, but a runner to third base, 2 down, to run in for the Orioles. 217 with a home run for the reigning Major League home run champ. Coming on, Betts. Mookie coming on, and he's got to play it on a bounce, and a run is in to make it 2-0. RBI single for Trumbo.
Once again, a knuckleball he left up. He didn't really hit it all that well. Thought Betts was going to go into the dive. Once again, see that ball's up. Didn't really do much. Kind of got on the label. That's why he didn't hit it so hard. And you see he got close to it. You wait for Mookie to make a super play on this, but just dunked it in.
So a tough start for Wright. Hit batsman, double, single. He's down 2-0 in a heartbeat. Brings up Wellington Castillo, the catcher, hitting .353. Was it every catcher these days hitting .350?
He can hit, though. This is a good pickup for them. They lost Wieters. They had to do something about that. They signed him early on. That's why he's kind of overlooked. They signed him right after free agency. Another base hit.
Into center field. Trumbo will stop at second base, and it's the 3rd hit here in the first inning for the Orioles. So first inning difficulty for the knuckleballer. First and second. He's going to have to face at least 7 Orioles in the first. Mancini is next. Sandy Leon went out for a chat. This is a young kid who swings hard and has some power. He has yet to homer here in 2017.
Remember, they had Nolan Reimold for the longest time, huh? They like to see his name on this roster.
I think Buck Showalter really liked him.
Didn't he? I mean, he was on this roster a long time. It's hard for this kid to break in.
Buck had some interesting things to say about the Red Sox flu epidemic.
Didn't he?
Driven to right field. That's deep. Betts is back, turning around, and that one sails on out of here for a 3-run homer. It is 5-0 Baltimore in the first inning. And a rocky start has turned into a bad start for Wright.
Well, he's throwing knuckleballs that really aren't doing much. Up top, belt high, and this kid's got some pop the other way. Last night he hit a ball in the gap, one hop the jet blue sign. This time he goes over into the bullpen. This ball smoked. Look at that ball just sitting there, just waiting to get crushed. This kid shows off his power, right center field. Nice little flick at it. This ball's gone. See ya.
5-0 Baltimore. There's a high deep drive off the bat of Scope. Way back there, gone into the monster seats. They go back to back. 6-0 Baltimore. Ugly.
Ugly. This is lunch. This is about as bad as it gets, really. Boy, Baltimore was just sort of, they're going to come out of it, you know, because this is a powerful lineup. These guys go bridge to stay in shape. They just do. And another hanging knuckleball just says, launch me. And they can.
Scope certainly can. 25 home runs last year. Back-to-back shots, 4 consecutive hits.
I mean, that's the kind of life that a knuckleballer leads. If it's not happening, it is not happening.
Activity right away. That's Ben Taylor in the Sox bullpen. Well, it got off to an ominous start, didn't it? First pitch hits Seth Smith.
Yeah, it moved like about a foot. Right away, you're thinking he doesn't really know where it's going.
And he came back. He struck out Jones, and Machado drilling the double.
He crushed that double. Even Davis hit the ball hard up the middle.
He did for the out. Here's Hardy. So the 9th hitter for the Orioles here in the top of the first.
Finally mixes in a fastball. He's only thrown 2 fastballs.
There's a high deep drive left, headed for the wall. It's not going to make it out, but off the green. That'll be a Fenway single off the green monster, and a 5th straight hit for Baltimore. They're going to bat around here in the first inning.
Yeah, you know what to say. It's just as bad as it gets. You can't get hit much harder. I mean, this is BP.
5 straight hits, 6 hits, and a hit batsman in the inning. And now Smith for the 2nd time here in the first, hit by a pitch to begin the game. And he was wild pitch down to second.
Yeah, I've been there before. Believe me, never got an out in the first inning. It's embarrassing. It just is, but it happens.
What's it feeling like when you come back after you've been yanked?
I mean, it's the ugliest feeling in the world.
You're looking at your teammates inside the dugout like, hey, you know, down 6-0.
Right, you're
sorry about that.
Sorry, man. I'm killing you guys.
He is desperate for the 3rd out. 6-0 Baltimore before 3 outs are recorded in the book.
Just get out of the inning.
A strike. 1-2.
I mean, he might got to get on a roll if he could just get out of this inning.
Hardy off first base, tiny lead, and he wouldn't chase it. Now keep in mind, it is Fenway Park. And Ubaldo Jimenez is the opponent tonight for the Red Sox, and his ERA is 10.38.
He's flip a coin. You don't know what you're going to get from Jimenez.
2 out. Here's the 2-2. Ball 3. Taylor continues to throw in the Red Sox bullpen.
You talk about only 25 pitches. It didn't take much to get here. 6 runs in, guy on first. You'd think he'd have 40.
Runner goes, and it's swung on, popped up, and it's not playable. Leon giving it a look, but onto the screen. Now, April last year was a very, very good month for Stephen Wright. He got off to a great start, a 1.37 ERA last April. Although the first inning was a problem even then. Six runs on 6 hits. And 2 homers.
When you're playing every day, you don't want to go to the bullpen, really.
Shot again, aimed toward that wall. Young back on the track, leaping up, makes the play, and then into the 10. And he needed to make that play desperately for the Red Sox. That's an ugly start to the game. The Orioles on top, 6-0. Red Sox coming up. Stephen Wright talking with pitching coach Carl Willis after Stephen gave up 6 quick ones, and it fell fast.
I don't know what you tell him, to be honest with you. They got to pick away at this Jimenez. He's known to give it up. Last year, coming off of a bad year last year. This guy has good year, bad year, good year, bad year. That's how he's been going.
Pedroia's hit him well. A lot of the Red Sox in this lineup have. Dustin hitting .310. Had a big hand in last night's win. He drove in 4 runs, made 2 outstanding up the middle defensive plays. Jimenez fires in a strike.
Boy, there's a lot of deception there. I'll tell you what, you don't teach your kid to throw like this, but it works for him. He has a hard time being consistent with this delivery. I wouldn't want to be a pitching coach having to help him all year.
It's been a career-long issue for him.
Totally. Look at that. That arm goes straight down.
And a line shot base hit. Pedroia at it again. He has started the season hitting safely in all 8 games. So on against the right-hander. So you look at his numbers from last season, not impressive. A high ERA of 5.44 in 29 games.
A lot of walks. He can punch you out a little bit. He's got a good split finger, but doesn't know how to command. He doesn't command anything, although he can dazzle. I mean, he's just inconsistent.
8-game hitting streak to begin the season. Now Benintendi, who came alive last night with 3 hits. He looks at strike 1.
This guy used to throw close to 98 miles an hour when he was with Colorado back in, what, 2010. It's been a long time, I know, but hasn't got even close to the kind of gas he used to.
33 years old now, from the Dominican Republic. Seems like the Sox have always had his number, though. He's 2-6 against Boston in his career with a 6.82 ERA. They tend to work him to make him throw a lot of pitches. Fouled off, 1-2.
His best pitch is that split finger that disappears, but if he doesn't command his fastball, you don't have to swing at it.
He has lost 3 consecutive decisions to the Sox.
There it is.
The 1-2 to the rookie. Fights that one foul down the left field line. You mentioned Jimenez's best year came with Colorado in 2010. He went 19-8 that year, and remember, at Coors Field in that thin air.
Started the All-Star game that year.
Yep, tossed a no-hitter as well against Atlanta. Had a 288 earned run average at Coors Field. That's impressive. High pop into left field. Mancini has the ground covered. 1 out. Sox lineup brought to you by Toyota's website for deals. BuyAToyota.com. Betts is next. Then Ramirez, Moreland, and Bogarts. Pablo Sandoval trying to get out of a mini slump. He's at third base. Chris Young back in left, and Sandy Leon hitting .368 is batting ninth. Mookie right at 200 without a home run yet. He snapped an 0 for 10 last night by going 2 for 5.
Well, he didn't catch that ball very well. That looked like a strike, but he boxed that ball. Castillo.
You saw there Mookie very fond of Jimenez, 9 for 19. But a pop up. On the right side, Scope is there. The second baseman catches that for the second out.
The Orioles defense is brought to you by DraftKings. They've made 5 errors in 6 games, and 1 big error last night by Hardy. You see Chado at third, Hardy at short, Scope at second, Chris Davis at first in the outfield. Mancini at first, at left. You got Adam Jones in center, Seth Smith in right. Behind the plate, Wellington, Castillo catching Jimenez.
Turned into a pretty night after the rain here this afternoon. Here's Hanley Ramirez. Back in the lineup last night, went 1 for 4. Pedroia started out with a base hit. He's been glued to first base. Check swing and a foul for strike 1. Hanley 20 career at bats against Jimenez. He's 5 for 20. Mitch Moreland on deck if Hanley can get the inning to him. Big swing, and it's 0-2.
Boy, that slider was just spinning there right down the middle, and he tried to leave earth and came up empty.
Jimenez handed a 6-0 lead before he ever took to the hill. And the 0-2 pitch. Lifted down the right field line, headed toward the stands. So is Smith. He goes lunging in, tried to make the play.
Nice
and
play.
What a catch he made. Going into the crowd to take that one away in foul territory. And that retires the side. 6-0 Baltimore.
Wow.
Right field line.
Really nice play. Something I didn't know he was capable of making. Look at the concentration here, going in there, leaping in there. Got fans in the way and everything. Nice play. Yes, shake that man's hand.
Adam Jones leading off the second. 6-0 Orioles. He's 0 for 1. He struck out in the first.
I'll tell you what, Dave, if that ball goes over the head of the last out he got last inning and if it's off the wall, you would have to go get him, I think, don't you?
I agree.
Yeah, so luckily they made that play. He got out of the first inning. Maybe he can get on a roll.
Uh-oh. Another high deep drive down the left field line. That's way out of here and gone. The 3rd home run of the night for the Baltimore Orioles as Jones hits his 2nd of the season. No doubter. 7-0, and Taylor is up again. It simply is not Mr. Wright's night.
I don't know what to say, but when a knuckleball isn't working, it just sits there, and I'll tell you what, these guys can drill it.
Adam Jones, who has hit 25 home runs or more for 6 consecutive years. That was deep. Mancini, Scope, and now Jones have all homered. And Machado certainly has that kind of power too. He has an RBI double.
You want to get a couple innings in, get on a roll, a couple innings, because you don't want to sit on this for 5 days, believe me.
I mean, when you looked at the two pitchers tonight, Jimenez and Wright, and compared recent records, you thought it would be the Red Sox who had a chance to have this kind of a performance against Jimenez.
Yeah, you almost bet the Ranch just the opposite.
But they are mashing that knuckleball 7-0. On the ground this time, Bogart snags it. One man gone in front of Chris Davis. Davis with that kind of power too. He's tapped to the shortstop so far tonight, 0 for 1. Red Sox put on the shift.
A lot of these Orioles have that launch angle working, don't they? All lift.
There's a deep one to right field. High, way back, sailing and gone. I don't think John Farrell has any choice now.
This is one of the biggest lunch jobs I've ever seen.
They have hit 4 home runs in the first 2 innings.
They have hit the ball hard 10 times. 4 launch balls. I mean, this is sad.
Second home run of the season for Davis. So they are squaring up everything and now lead it 8-0. No choice but to bring Taylor in. Absolutely crushed by one of the stronger guys in the American League.
Talk about lift.
Brought to you by Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. Subaru Retailers of New England, by Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service, and by Plain Ridge Park Casino, the sponsor of winning. 8-0 Baltimore. We've seen some outstanding outings the last couple of years out of Stephen Wright. This was his worst, I think, by a large measure.
This is one of the worst games I've ever witnessed, to be honest with you, in an inning and a third. Lucky to get out of the first inning to begin with. A ball at the wall for the last out.
8 hits allowed, and 4 of them went over the fence. And it started by hitting the first man he faced. So Ben Taylor gets in. 3rd appearance of the season. He's been sharp.
He's got that sneaky fastball that I saw in Detroit. It says 92, but it plays higher.
Facing Mark Trumbo here, who singled in a run in the first inning. Well, if you'd said the Orioles are going to hit 4 home runs in an inning in the third, you would have bet the Ranch that Trumbo hit one of them. But his was a base hit. Led the majors last year, 47 home runs.
Spoke too soon about last night. It was such a nice night. I thought the ball was going to carry out last night, right? I mean, yeah. 80 degrees almost. No home runs tonight. Ooh, my goodness.
Trumbo grew up in Southern California in the shadow of the ballpark in Anaheim where the Angels play. Eventually played for them. Pedroia up and over. 2 down. Stephen Wright's pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. As he goes an inning and a third. 8 earned runs. Boy, that'll do a job on an ERA.
You almost have to laugh it off, and that's going to stay with you a long time. Early in the season, that ERA just won't get down. You can have 2 or 3 good games and it's still staring you in the face.
Well, he'll turn the page on that as quickly as he can. Here's Castillo. He singled and scored a run in the first inning. He was aboard when Mancini launched a 3-run homer. And after him, Scope homered within seconds. In this inning, Adam Jones and Chris Davis going yard. Castillo with pretty good power. Hit 14 last year for Arizona.
Guy was with the Cubs for a while. You don't really recognize his name now that all the Cubs are superstars, right?
Hey, they got their rings today, or they're getting them here
Okay.
tonight. Yeah. But a game with the Dodgers before the game with Los Angeles.
Can't be great for the Dodgers to watch that, huh?
Well, they had to hang around and watch the championship banner raised on Monday. Cubs are breaking up their ceremonies. They did that on Monday despite a long rain delay, and then rallied to win the game late. Getting their rings today as that one is fouled away.
Would surprise me if that's a rematch again this year. You know, Dodgers got a good club.
Oh yeah.
You better have a good club for $250 million, or whatever it is. That's
2-2 here on Castillo. They're asking a lot of the guys, "Are you going to wear your ring?" Cubs, the rings are $70,000 a piece. I mean, I think they're the most expensive baseball world championship rings ever made. I believe that's accurate. They may not be as gaudy as the Marlins rings of several years ago, but
they're so big that they're hard to wear.
They have 108 diamonds.
Oh, paint right there. I got to have that.
3-2.
He's a rookie. You got to throw it down the middle. It's 8-0. Let's go. Bounce around.
Payoff pitch. He struck him out. Side retired. Red Sox with a ton of work to do, down 8-0. You can submit a video that shows personality. It'll be edited into a commercial showing players' personalities. The top video airs as a Red Sox commercial on NESN, and the winning fan gets $1,000 plus a visit to our broadcast booth. Go to NESN.com and upload your video today. And try and include your pets. It's almost an automatic. If you're going to submit that, $1,000, not bad.
Everybody's going to be dancing.
Everybody's dancing in these things. And as we can go to NESNnext.com to upload your video as soon as you finish that up.
Perfect for this day and age, huh? Right down their alley.
Bottom of the second, Red Sox down 8 runs. Moreland, Bogart, Sandoval. Moreland now the major league leader in doubles. He has a 5-game hitting streak, 6 doubles in there. He'll look at a strike. Mitch hitting .321 coming in. No homers, 1 run batted in. And Jimenez with a 1-1.
Totally different way to pitch when you got an 8-run lead. Seems like an easy thing to do, right? Just throw strikes, but it just sort of changes how you go about it. It just does. You just don't want to walk anybody, but you don't want to just throw strikes, be a strike thrower, because you'll get knocked around.
One-two.
This guy has a hard time throwing strikes to begin with, so.
And if you let him, he can walk the ballpark. Although so far tonight, 18 pitches, 13 strikes. And Jimenez turns on the rubber. Popped into foul ground, keeps on sailing, and nobody can make that play because the shift was on.
That is such an out right there. That ball doesn't even almost stayed on the grass next to the coach's box.
It was an out around 2012.
Right.
Fans celebrate Grateful Dead night at Fenway Park tonight. There's a special Dead & Company flash sale with reduced ticket prices. Regularly priced tickets at $125 to $100. Available at $62.50 to $50. Visit redsox.com/Dead & Company special. Use the promo code FLASH for this special offer. And the 2-2. Little dribbler to hang in there. That was on the splitter. Moreland leading off the second inning. Red Sox looking for some life offensively. 3-2. Moreland has experience against Jimenez. He's 3 for 17 off him. Bruins and Senators are 0-0. As the Bees get the postseason underway tonight.
There's a perfect example of 8-0 game. You think you're going to get a fastball 3-2. He throws him a split finger. If he would have thrown that ball in the dirt for ball 4, that would have looked ugly, wouldn't it? 8-run lead. Are you kidding me?
Should be somewhere near the strike zone. 3-2. He struck him out right at the bottom of the zone. Caught him looking.
Can't do much about this. 3-2. He kind of paints him down and away. Perfect pitch.
First strikeout for Jimenez sends up Xander Bogaerts. Hoping this is the guy that gets him rolling. Hitting 167. Back to the lineup after missing those 4 games in Detroit because of bereavement leave. He is hitting .350 against Jimenez in his career.
I mean, how many pitchers do you see that have that? The way he just forces his right arm down at the end, back behind his back. Watch, down.
A little bit of a Rick Sutcliffe.
I was just going to say that he used to wrap it. Remember, he'd wrap it a little bit.
He'd drop it down there.
That's exactly who I was thinking of.
Well, Duque had some of that. The 1-1. Back toward the hill. Knocked around a bit. Jimenez has no play now. He did not play that one very smartly.
Boy, he's making pitchers look bad. That's kind of embarrassing for a pitcher. That's an out right there. Weakly hit ball. He jams him. He doesn't know how to pick it. He didn't know how to go about it. Just absolutely boxes the whole play. Falls off a little bit. That he just couldn't pick it. It's ugly. Red Sox will take it.
See how they rule on that. I would suspect an error, but Bogaerts is on, and it is an error. Now Sandoval, he has better numbers than Xander against Jimenez. He really needs a good night.
He goes to hacking. Boy, we've seen a lot of that.
See that .359 against the righty with a couple of home runs. That's over 39 at bats. Right now Pablo in an 0 for 13 skid. To first base, nearly thrown up the line. Davis had to lunge for that.
Nothing. You don't want to take too good a big a lead anyway, but he's going to back pick you any chance he gets.
1-1 on Sandoval. With Xander Bogaerts aboard.
See where he has a good split finger. He's just inconsistent. He'll throw one belt high and then he'll throw a good one like that.
It was really fascinating watching Oliver Drake, the youngster, pitch last night from Massachusetts, pitching for the Orioles, and almost every pitch he threw was a splitter.
Yeah, the first 6 he threw. They're good ones.
They were.
You got to feature something else, though. The fastball he had hard time commanding.
You would think up here you better have.
Yeah, you got to have more
fastball.
Oh yeah, and his fastball is 92. He's got, you know, good velocity.
He's out of the Naval Academy. That splitter was impressive. Here's the 2-2. In on the hands, and he fought it off foul. Chris Young on deck. Chris getting a lot of starts with Jackie Bradley on that 10-day disabled list.
Look at all that sticky stuff. His helmet, his bat. It's nasty.
One down. In play. Hardy on a second one. On to first. Double play. So Jimenez pitches around his own error. Still 8-0. Hockey, the Bees' first home game on Monday. Still plenty of seats available. Secure your tickets right now for the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs by visiting bostonbruins.com/playoffs. And they are 0-0 with the Senators. In game one tonight, Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien, Garrett Austin from Fenway. Ugly start to this one. Orioles in the lead 8-0. They've already hit 4 home runs. This guy has one of them. Trey Mancini, 3-run blow in the first inning. Followed immediately by a Jonathan Scope home run. Then they got 2 more in the second inning. And that was all for Stephen Wright, who went an inning and a third this evening. First time in his career he's allowed as many as 3 home runs.
Mancini's got off to a good start for them. He has to hold that job in left field.
He homered in his first 3 major league starts when they promoted him last year, so he's legit. He hit 23 home runs over 3 levels.
And that was during the pennant race too, right?
Yep, he got some at bats late and hit 3 home runs in 5 games. Very upright stance. Three balls and 2 strikes. How about Buck Showalter really kind of sticking the Red Sox with his comments yesterday about
he's dogging them.
You know, saying stuff like well, we have problems too. We have guys who are sick. We're just not broadcasting it. Fly down the right field line. I think he was having some fun with that. But.
Yeah, he wasn't asked. They didn't ask him. I mean, he just sort of. He wanted to say that. He was taking a jab. He's not afraid to take a jab. Remember at the big market teams anyway. Remember he said something a few years back, and then.
And I think he's a terrific manager, and I've worked games with him. That's another deep drive down the left field line. A searing shot, gone. Boy, into the monster seats in a heartbeat. Mancini with his second home run here tonight.
How about the bat speed on Mancini, huh? I mean, my goodness, he just whipped that ball out of here.
It's 9-0.
It's going to knock some teeth out up there. Watch him clean this fastball. Boom. You can't hit a ball harder down the line. Nice snatch. Look at that. Nice play. Meanwhile, that's the 5th dinger.
5 home runs, 9-0. And his Scope was already homered. Mancini, an impressive young slugger.
Man, he's on a salary drive from the get-go.
Yeah. First career multi-home run game. And a strike on Scope. And he was a little leaguer back in 2004. He helped lead Curacao to the Little League World Series title. In fact, he was the closer. And he wrapped up the final game of the save against Thousand Oaks, California. Down he goes, strike 3. A lot of good ball players in Curacao.
Is Gregorius from Curacao, right? The guy with the Yankees, shortstop with the Yankees, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
Either that or Dutch Antilles, but I think you might be right. Well, Jack and Brick, I think you're enjoying it a lot more than the fans here at Fenway are enjoying the baseball game, because this one got off to a horrible start for Stephen Wright as he gave up 6 runs and 6 hits in that first inning, and home runs just keep on coming.
We wish it was nothing over here so badly. I mean, this was just a shellacking in the first inning.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
exactly right. The timing couldn't be better, Jack. We'll talk to you a little later. Let's hope that's right.
Yes.
A long way to go to see that happen here tonight. As Hardy takes one into the dirt.
Well, that guy thinks positive, doesn't he, Jack? 9-0. Don't worry about nothing.
Smith has been hit by a pitch. He's also lined out to left. He's the man who started the scoring by getting hit by a pitch in the opening inning.
It's an abbreviated shift. You can't shift like you want to with Seth Smith. He yanks everything.
That one almost hit him down and in. You and I have seen a lot of games at Fenway Park over a lot of years. I don't remember too many where you look up in the third inning and the opponent already had 10 hits.
Right.
But the Orioles already have 10 hits.
I don't recall. I mean, I know they probably scored, opposing teams probably scored more than 6 runs in the first inning in the history of this ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll tell you what, they hit the ball hard.
Yep.
I mean, that's as hard as you can hit it.
It's the home runs, the 5 home runs. I mean, up and down the lineup, they all swing like that.
They didn't. There was no flares. There wasn't, a weakly hit ball, was there? I mean, I think Trumbo hit the base, hit the right field. He didn't crush it. Everything else was stung.
One of the things for me that was even more impressive about Drew Pomerantz last night, his first start coming off the disabled list against this lineup.
When you look back at it now, I mean, we didn't know what was going to happen. So inning to inning, we were just sort of said, well, he's doing all right. I was expecting something to go wrong, and it didn't. He pitched as good as, like you said, he probably one of the best games he's pitched for the Red Sox. I know it was only 6 innings, but
I talked to John Farrell before the game. John felt it was his best outing as a member of the Red Sox. Walking only 1, 6 strikeouts, and part of that was the low pitch count over those 6 innings. Because typically he averages 18 to 21 pitches per start. Per inning for the Red Sox in his starts, and he was way better than that.
He was featuring this knuckle curve. I guess he's been throwing it all along, but I never thought it was a knuckle curve, and a lot of high fastballs, but first pitch strikes. I mean, he was doing his thing.
I just love that he's hanging out with Chris Sale. If I'm a left-hander, and I can hang around Chris Sale, I'm hanging around Chris Sale. Punch to the right side, up with it, Sandoval back to first, and a double play. Started by the third baseman just a few feet away from first base. But another run, 9-0 Baltimore. This timeless moment is brought to you by Coors Banquet. On this date in 1967, the impossible dream season began with the Red Sox beating the White Sox 5-4 at Fenway. Rico Petrocelli 3 for 3, 4 RBIs, the start of the magic in '67. Chris Young to lead off the third inning, trying to get into Jimenez. And Sandy Leon and Dustin Pedroia. So far, Petey with the only Red Sox hit against the right-hander who the Red Sox have knocked around in the past. Tonight, the Orioles have been doing the knocking with 5 home runs in the first 3 innings they've been at the plate.
You see everybody play Young to pull like this. You got Scope on the other side of second base. Not every team does this to Young, do they?
Not as dramatically as this. Chris facing righties and lefties.
I'll tell you what, he started off slow last year, Chris Young, but he came on and then he got hurt. I mean, he's playing as good as anybody when he got hurt.
Had a very solid season after those initial few weeks.
Yeah, he started playing every day.
Yep. Just a really sound veteran ball player. Doesn't make mistakes. He can help you with the bat. He can help you with the long ball. A very classy player.
They put up that stat last night, his stolen bases on his career. I knew he could run a little bit, but he's over 150 stolen bags.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more than we remembered.
He doesn't run like that now, I wouldn't think.
But every once in a while.
Yeah.
3-1 foul away.
It's funny how players get hurt just by rounding the bag. What happened with Jackie Bradley, you see him there getting hurt. That's the same thing that happened to Chris Young last year, and then Pedroia a couple years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Falling around, sliding on the bag and trip.
Yep. That's going to be the most awkward step Jackie Bradley will ever take in his career.
Totally. You're almost embarrassed that you fell down, but then that hyperextension kicked in.
3-2. There's a drive down the left field line. He hooked it toward the wall. He'll drop on the warning track. A fair ball heading into second base. Young, and he slides in with a double. Red Sox with a first extra base hit tonight.
Tries to get a ball in on him right there, and the ball's creeping up on him, but he gets the head to it. Yanks that ball down the line. Short hop to wall, you know, an easy double the way Young runs. Little slide, easy double.
So the Red Sox with a second hit off Jimenez. His second double. Sandy León is next. Through 7 games now, Red Sox catching core has been just brilliant between Sandy León and Christian Vasquez. The combination of the two is hitting .353. They have caught all 4 men attempting to steal. Vasquez 4 for 4 last night. He hasn't made an out yet this season.
They should be hitting 500 if you think about it. He's hitting 368. And the other guy's hitting 1,000. Got the best tandem catchers in the game right now.
And the 0-2. Diving play by Davis. He knocks it down, and everybody's going to be safe. So it'll be a base hit for Sandy.
Chris Davis went a long ways to that ball with a dive. If he catches it, he's probably going to flip it to Jimenez, but you see the dive there, and then it trickles out of his glove, and León, with his speed, he's so thankful that that ball just was not caught. They got something going on right here. 2 on, nobody out.
Dustin Pedroia 1 for 1 with a base hit. So he's now 12 out of 33 against Jimenez. Sees him well. Sox trying to get on the board here in the 3rd inning, try and chip away at a big deficit, 9-0. Benintendi on deck. Pedroia won't chase it. Dustin coming into this at bat hitting .333.
This was going to happen sooner or later. Jimenez get a chance to knock him around. This is it right here, this inning.
Sock foul back out of play. DraftKings is the destination for one-day fantasy baseball. New players can head to DraftKings and enter the promo code NESSN to play for free. That's NESSN at DraftKings.com.
Got that big hole over there at first base for Dustin, especially the way he's been hitting the ball the other way.
And the 2-1 darts in there for a strike.
Good pitch to take. Can't do much with it.
First and third, nobody out. Sandy León with his 8th hit in 20 at bats is aboard as that one's fouled back.
That ball just ate him up. Luckily, he fouled it back.
Two balls and 2 strikes. This is pitch number 47 from Jimenez. Fouled off again.
He's made some good pitches here to Dustin. Outside, inside, little breaking ball.
And a right-hander home with another 2-2. Breaking ball again spoiled by Pedroia. Chili Davis looking for a run here of offense, and it is starting anyway in the 3rd inning with a double and a single. Pedroia trying to go 2 for 2.
Hang this split finger. He did.
Line to right field. Smith coming on, makes the play. Young will stop as the throw comes in and head on back to 3rd base.
Nowhere to go right there. Nobody out. Had a hard time throwing him out. That ball wasn't even close to being in the vicinity of home plate, but Jimenez got away with a high split finger. Pedroia hits that ball in the nose there, but right at Seth Smith, and he just launches it all the way in. Chris Young not going anywhere. All Pedroia was trying to do was hit that ball the other way. Did his job, but got a man there.
So 1 away. Benintendi 0 for 1, flying out to left field his first trip. And after a cool series in Detroit, he's happy to be home at Fenway. Very young in his career, of course, but he's hitting .362 at Fenway. Mookie Betts will be next.
Boy, he needed those 3 hits last night. You know, when you're young, your first month in the big leagues, it's nice to get off to a good start. That's why when he hit that 3-run dinger in the opening day, it takes the pressure off a little bit.
He looks at a strike. The Red Sox, John Farrell was talking about this today on WEEI late this afternoon. He was talking about how much they admire this kid's demeanor. Never gets too high or too low, doesn't seem to worry about any numbers. Showed that last year.
That's just his makeup. I mean, you can't teach that stuff.
Part of it is, you know, from the time he was a little twerp, all he did was hit,
right,
cover off the ball.
So he almost expects to be here. It's like
totally
no big deal.
Yep. John Farrell was talking about that and how he's a perfect fit for a long season. Floats that one down the left field line, but that's going to sink into the stands.
You know, when I was a kid, I got called up when I was 20 out of spring training, and it took me a while to think that I should be here, you know, because there's no other league, you know, so you get here and say, oh my goodness, this is, and I used to try 100%, and then finally you feel like I belong, but it takes time.
When do you feel like you belong?
It took me a good year. You know, the second year I felt a little more comfortable.
So you were 21.
Yeah.
And you felt you were already a good fit.
I still was crazy at that time. You know, I wasn't all together yet, but I felt like I belonged.
Fly pretty well hit to left, but Mancini back there circling under now. Make the catch. Young can tag up as the throw comes to second. He is in to score, and the Red Sox are on the board here to make it 9-1. Benintendi with his 6th RBI.
Little cross seam fastball running away. Gets enough of it to launch that ball in the air. It's a good Fenway swing is what that is. A little sacrifice fly. He'll take that. Get the run on the board. Let's see something going on from here.
Benintendi taking over the club lead in RBIs now 6. Sandy Leon with 5. Sandy at first base. Betts the batter. That combination of Leon and Vasquez now hitting .520.
Oof.
So no stopping the Red Sox catchers, but tonight need to string a lot of hits together to climb back into this one. Good news is it's very early. That one, oh, for a moment Castillo couldn't find it. Finally does, no advance.
Haven't even thought about Mookie Betts, really. He's been a sort of not on my mind. He hasn't been playing, first of all, and hasn't done any damage yet, but it's just a matter of time.
They missed the 3 games with that flu bug. Hanley Ramirez on deck. Was hit particularly hard by it. Here's the 1-1. You remember the moment when you talk about that feeling of belonging, the moment where you knew you belonged?
Wow.
Was it like one inning where you just blew 3 guys away?
Yeah, I guess, you know, because I came out of the bullpen when I first left spring training. I was just glad to be in the big leagues, and I had some gas. So, you know, but I still don't know that if it plays in this league, because these guys are the best there is, right? And then when you do punch somebody out, and then I mean, I got demonstrative sooner than most guys do.
Why am I not shocked by that?
No, but really, and then I played to it, and most of it was fear. You know, when you get excited like that, it's not like you're trying to be cocky and styling and showing people up. I was like kind of scared, and so my reaction was like, oh my goodness, you know.
You've said this before too, that, you know, late in your career when you were the best closer on earth,
yeah,
it wasn't trying to show guys up.
No, it wasn't premeditated.
It was out of fear.
Yeah, totally, because there's a lot on the line. It was like life or death for me. I'm not kidding. And then when it was over, it was like a relief more than anything else. And then it's over, and you got to do it again the next day.
Runner goes hard hit. Machado with a smooth backhand. It gets him. Red Sox get a run. And at the end of 3, it's 9-1 Baltimore. By Plain Ridge Park Casino, TC and Tim Wakefield preview. Eduardo Rodriguez start tomorrow against the Pirates. And remember, that's the makeup game from the rainout. What was to be the finale of the series with the Pirates. That is tomorrow. It's not on your calendars. But 2 o'clock tomorrow before Tampa Bay comes in. Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien, and Garrett Austin at Fenway Park. Early on, a home run fest for these Orioles. They've hit 5 of them, and they lead 9-1. Adam Jones steps in. He has one of them.
I'm going to stretch this kid Taylor out. This is his 3rd inning of work. Boy, he's got to be pinching himself, this kid on the mound, huh? Go to spring training, next thing you know, you're in the big leagues. There's no way he thought he was going to make this club, right? When he got there, you got the opportunity. That, you know, you never know in this game. Somebody gets hurt, you get an opportunity, you make the most of it.
Out of Montgomery, Alabama, 24 years old.
Well, that's sneaky, isn't it?
It is.
It says 91, but it plays 95.
Yep. Ben has allowed 1 of the home runs. Stephen Wright with a painfully short start, an inning and a 3rd. Trying to forget about that one very quickly. Just a tough night for a guy who's been a very good pitcher.
I wonder what Wake would say watching this game. It probably feel awful for him, because it can happen to anybody.
I think the difference is Wake could probably tell you exactly what went haywire from the get-go for Stephen.
Well, I think it's a matter of knowing, you know, how to get out of that, you know, make an adjustment, because, you know, Wake, it probably came and went with him, and you got to know how you're going to get it back. We've got to forget about it.
You do, and we've seen Stephen, you know, have a rocky inning and then pitch 6 shutout innings.
Right.
Tonight, just couldn't get out of it. Bounding ball, Sandoval cuts it off to his left. Had a little trouble getting it out, but he Gets the throw there in time to cut down Jones.
Wasn't quite sure there if he was ever going to let it go, because you better hurry up. Jones getting down the line and kind of double pumped. Got it there just in time. One of ways to get it too. Get your momentum going that way. It's hard to let it go.
One man out. Machado now. He's doubled in a run and grounded out to short. You're talking about how young you were when you broke in, 20 years old. You threw a no-hitter at 22.
Yeah, that's when I thought I had it going on. That was a couple years later, though.
I mean, we're talking about Benintendi and how young he is, and a Rookie of the Year candidate. You guys are the same age.
So they make more of it now than they used to. Maybe,
really?
Huh? I think. Because I signed out of high school. These guys are ready to play out of college.
Well, he was a college star.
Yeah, I mean, they're more mature, believe me. I mean, imagine me at 20. Are you kidding me?
I am imagining that right now.
Back in the 70s? Are you kidding me?
The 70s.
That's some of the greatest times in my life.
High pop into short right. Betts and Benintendi, and Benintendi wants it for the second out. I want to hear about some of those. BetGear, the official performance betting partner of the Red Sox, fuels your performance on and off the field. Sleep like the pros from Maximum Recovery. Build your performance sleep system at bedgear.com today. Sleep fuels everything. Two down for Chris Davis. Grounded out and homered. One of the 5 Oriole home runs. We're in the 4th inning.
Did he launch that ball or what? You talk about launch angle. Oh, but that ball was in the air forever. Forever. Went way back in there. I don't know how many rows, but it was.
It was like a big poppy home run.
Yes, it was.
At Fenway. David Ortiz coming back in June.
Was that June 23rd? I got it figured out.
See his number retired.
Yes.
1-1 in tight. You in the 70s, my goodness.
Uh-oh, how about this? This is ugly. I've given up some bombs. I've given up some of these, believe me. The ball is way up there, but it's about 10 rows. You might as well give up when it's. I don't want it when it's. I have to watch it because you're hoping, you're begging. You see the outfielder go back to the fence and you're going, maybe he'll catch it. Wait, if you're going to hit it out, if it's just going to go out, just go way out, and I don't have to even watch it.
Now you're serious? You'd rather give one that's
yes.
15 rows?
Oh, absolutely.
Than a wall scraper.
Get out of here. If you're going to go bridge, go bridge. And I gave up 400 of them almost. Believe me.
You pitched forever too.
I know, but I don't care. I ate crow a lot. I punched guys out and they took me deep, So I deserved to do whatever I wanted to do out there.
I agree with you. That's the way it is in the big leagues. He slams that one down the left field line. That one heading into the corner and toward the wall. It's going to be a fair ball. That bounces back toward the wall. Rounding second, he's going to stop there at second base. Boy, that was a strange one down the left field line.
That was in the air forever. He had enough time to get over there. He's not playing obviously down the left field line. He had a long ways to go, but it was up there for so long. Look at this pitch. Down, up middle. He just flicked this ball. He's got the kind of power to hit it out, but he just barely goes fair there.
Oh, it hit that door area and then spun back.
That's the funky part of Fenway Park that you don't see come into play that often. He said, forget about third base. There's 2 outs.
So a home run and a double for Davis. They have 11 hits. Trumbo has singled and grounded out. You would have thought by now he would have hit one of their home runs if they had 5 by this point, but he rockets that one. Young on the move, makes the catch. A fine play. Had to leap up for a backhand grab to prevent another run. 9-1 Baltimore. 47 have teamed up to celebrate Boston's hardest working fans. Their Outwork, Outroute collaboration combines Carhartt's signature work with 47's premium Red Sox gear. Available in store at Fenway and online at 47brand.com. Andy Ramirez 0 for 1 with a fly to right field that Smith made an outstanding play, jumping into the stands to catch, and robbed Hanley of a deeper at bat there. He'll be followed by Moreland and then Bogarts.
Jimenez throwing more strikes than he normally does. He hasn't walked anybody up to this point.
Well, tonight he's making his 300th career appearance. Not all starts, but his 300th. Starter for the majority of his career. He's been tougher tonight against the Red Sox than he typically is.
I tell you where he made his money. In 2013, he pitched great for the Indians down the stretch there. He really did. And then next thing you know, he got the 4-year deal from the Orioles for about 50 beans, right? Then he had a bad year the first year with the Orioles and had a decent one after that. And then last year was very poor. And here we are.
Actually brought down his ERA tonight, which was 10.38. Coming into the game, the 0-2. There's a bullet down the line. He turned on that. Fair ball all the way to the wall. Hanley wants second base. He's going to get it. He's got himself a double and a good start for the Red Sox here in the 4th inning.
He's trying to go at him inside there. He got 2 strikes on him. And that's a half step and fastball right there. That's 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and you can't get away with that. He just whips it out of there.
For a guy who missed a bunch of games because of illness, his timing's pretty good.
It really is.
And I was telling Garen earlier tonight, I stayed in the game mentally, watching the Red Sox when they were on the road. He knew everything that happened in that Tigers series, even though he was back here trying to get well again. Is Mitch Moreland. He struck out looking in the 2nd inning, 0 for 1. Moreland has doubled in a career best 5 consecutive games.
I remember Moreland hitting a home run in the 2010 World Series. That's been a while now when you think about it, right? Texas against the Giants 7 years ago.
That's right. They had their chances with that group, didn't they?
They really did. 2011 especially. The ball over Cruz's head. Should have caught it.
They were
right?
one strike away, weren't they?
Yeah, that was it. Oh.
Can you imagine?
I know. You know, you don't get back to that position. It's like the Indians losing last year. I mean, it's hard to get back there, even if you got a great team.
Yeah, that was the Nelson Cruz play.
Right.
Ball went over his head for a triple. That one gets away from Castillo and will advance Hanley down to 3rd.
Nefi Felice was on the mound. He was a slam dunk closer. And then Freese hit the 2-run dinger right later.
Yeah, he did. He had a great series. That's a pass ball on Castillo. The story that I heard from a pretty good source about Nelson Cruz and that ball hit over his head in that World Series. 1 strike away, goes over his head because he was playing fairly shallow for whatever reason. So a lot of people wanted to know why he wasn't racing back and making a catch. Here's the story I heard. He wanted to be part of the middle of the field pileup when they won the World Series.
So he cheated in?
He was cheating in. And over his head it went.
Who did he tell? He must have told somebody.
Told somebody.
I wouldn't say.
Nope,
how do you say that?
Yep.
I thought he was going to say the coach moved him a few steps.
Big cut and a miss by Moreland. That was my first response. There's no way that's true.
Right.
And
I'm not telling anybody I did that because I want to get closer.
Oh,
that's hard to take.
Makes it even worse if it's true.
I'll tell you what, for me, thank God the next year we won the World Series after the Kirk Gibson thing the year before.
Yeah.
I could have been living with nothing At least I got something the next year.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember
Kirk Gibson thing.
But still, I was so lucky to win the next year.
You know, you're locked in time in one of the great moments in baseball history.
Yeah.
With that.
And, you know, I'll tell you, I played 24 years, only one world championship. Oh, look at that.
Little roll to runner holding at third. Jimenez will go to first base. Hanley holding still.
Hanley didn't know what to do. I mean, that ball, that was an ugly, ugly swing.
And a broken bat.
I mean,
play goes 1-3.
Look at this. I mean, this just he got crunched. Man, he couldn't score on that thing. That was a weakly hit ball. I mean, you don't see that very often.
Bogart's next. He reached on an error by Jimenez in the second inning. Xander trying to get going. His average at 154 at the moment. Here in game number 8 for the Sox. They're down 9-1. Liner, but foul.
They're talking about the Cubs, you know, recently with getting the rings and what have you, and then talking about a dynasty, you know, and how about the pressure on them? If they don't go to the World Series, that's failure, right? I mean, you put that tag on somebody, it's not an easy thing to be. But they've got it all going on, don't they? I mean,
well,
all the pieces are there.
They're loaded.
You can't have them every year because probably Arrieta's going to leave, you know, people leave.
Line drive, softly hit, but a base hit. That'll drive in a run. Makes it a 9-2 game as Hanley Ramirez scores. Xander Bogaerts with his first RBI of the season.
That's sort of his RBI stroke when he's got it going on like he did the first half of last season. A little two-seamer that runs right down the middle, gets in on him, but he fights it off. Good approach. See that swing a lot when he had it going on. I mean, he hit like that the first half of the season. He was the best player in the game last season, didn't you think?
I did. I thought he was the best right-hand hitter in baseball that time.
I mean, it's hard to keep it going all year.
Xander, first-time All-Star last year. Yeah, Buck probably didn't think he'd have to be on the horn for a while, but no activity in their bullpen yet. Now Sandoval looking to come out of it. 0 for his last 14. Yeah, lots of pressure on the Cubs. They're wearing the bullseye. They know it. Everyone's coming for them. Getting their rings tonight.
You know, they don't have that competition. I don't think St. Louis is the same club this year.
Fly ball. They put a charge into that one. That's rising up there and is gone. Pablo with a second home run. Now the Red Sox are starting to think about getting into this game. That makes it 9-4 with a 2-run shot.
Boy, that is a great sign with him hitting the ball the other way like that. He comes out of his shoes a lot, but that's the swing you want to see in Fenway Park. That's his 3rd home run off of Jimenez in his career. And you see the pitch down. Look, that pretty decent pitch because it was running away. A little two-seamer. And he gets enough of it. He reaches out there and drives this ball. Just clears the fence.
Third hit in the inning against Jimenez. Now it's a 5-run game. Pablo Sandoval with his 3rd career home run against this right-hander. Brings up Young, who has a double, and Chris has scored a run. You might see some bullpen activity, Yak, if Young rips a base hit here.
Yeah, you can't let this game get away from him, that's for sure. His pitch count's almost up to 80, and he's not even, what, 1 out into the 4th.
2-0.
He's scuffling right now.
Well, nice to see the Panda with a swing like that, snapping an 0 for 14.
He went all the way out there to get that, too.
He did, yeah, with authority. Sox now 4 runs, 6 hits, their first home run. Ball is absolutely flying to left. Hard hit, that's fair. Off the barrier. Charging on Mancini, trying to hold him to 1, and he will. That's 3 consecutive hits and 4 in the inning. Let's see if that gets their bullpen rolling.
Jimenez thinking he's just going to get 5 innings and get this W. He's going to have a hard time getting there.
Roger McDowell coming out, their pitching coach. Now 7 hits for the Red Sox.
Once again, a little sinker, a little two-seamer, and he cleans it out. That ball just fair down the line, too. This has got to be so close because it hit off the boards there. You never see it bounce like that. And a fair ball. Hard to get a double on it, though. Somebody taking their coat off sooner or later out there. I mean, you'd think somebody would start to throw. Let's go. Somebody's got to bounce around. It's 9-4.
Starting to turn in. They will get somebody going. It's going to be Wilson. It's starting to turn into one of those games so many of us saw as kids at Fenway. Somebody gets out to a big lead, but hold the phone. That one by the catcher on the bluff bunt. Down to second base moves Chris Young. Oh, maybe a wild pitch.
Well, Jimenez is feeling it right now. And I guess it's a changeup. Just miss hitting Leon.
That'd be a wild pitch. Still only 1 out in the inning. Tyler Wilson going in their pen. Boy, 4th inning, and they handed Jimenez a 9-0 lead. But you talked about how it's not the easiest thing in the world with a big lead. You have to have the right mindset, and he hasn't necessarily had it.
He's got mediocre stuff, to be honest with you. He does have a tendency to lose command, and then he has such a big lead. He hasn't walked anybody, but he hasn't exactly been dealing.
Fouled away by Sandy Leon, hitting right at 400. MLB.com at bat is the #1 mobile app for live baseball for the Red Sox. Stay connected. Get Red Sox home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Pablo Sandoval with a 2-run homer. Red Sox have scored 3 times their own crooked number here in the 4th inning. Leon trying to add to that. Fly to center field. Jones circling, Young back to tag, but he's going to stay put. Jones has a good arm, and that's out number 2. But here comes Dustin Pedroia, one of the hottest Red Sox hitters. He has singled and lined out very sharply to right field tonight. He's had 2 excellent swings. Drove in 4 runs last night. The 16th time in Dustin's career that he's posted a 4 RBI game. Pitch number 84 for Jimenez. Line shot, but caught by Hardy. He's hit some bullets tonight. Sandoval hit one. Pablo Sandoval, his 2nd home run. Red Sox within 5. Red Sox World Championship season. It was game number 8. Red Sox would lose to Seattle 3-0. Felix Hernandez pitched a complete game. 1 hit, walked 2, and struck out 6 for King Felix. As we honor the 07 Red Sox and that championship all season long. Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien, Garrett Austin with you from Fenway. Now 9-4 Baltimore. They were a runaway train first couple of innings, scoring 8 runs over the first 2, knocking out Stephen Wright in an inning and a third. Tim Wakefield will be on the post game with TC and analyze what went wrong for Stephen Wright, but the Red Sox trying to make a comeback. So it's up to Taylor to keep Baltimore at bay.
Boy, they're stretching him out too. I don't know how many pitches he's thrown. The most he's thrown since being in spring training. I can't imagine him having thrown this many pitches.
Pitch number 49 fouled away by Castillo. He is singled and struck out. And Abad loosening in the bullpen. He has yet to get into a game this season. Looks like tonight's going to be the night.
This is the night.
Just missed. Dodgers have a 1-0 lead on the Cubs in the second inning at Wrigley Field, where Chicago Cubs got their World Series championship ring. Drive toward the alley, a dive ahead by Benintendi. He's got it. He made the play for the first out here in the 5th inning.
A little Freddie Lynn piece right there, huh? There's a little highlight reel film from Freddie Lynn, sort of diving over there like that. If he's wearing number 19, he'd be all over it. He had that all lined up.
Taylor liking the effort. One man gone. Now the Red Sox just trying to keep this guy in the ballpark. Mancini with 2 home runs. 3-run shot in first. Solo drive in the third. Just a bit low.
He generates some bat speed. See him standing straight up and down like that, but he goes at it.
And 6'5", about 215 pounds.
He whips that thing.
Nine to 4 Baltimore. That time he checked his swing. So the count moves to 3-1 on their left fielder. Scope on deck. And he's taking. That's ball 4. First man to walk tonight. 5 home runs tonight. Keep it moving moment brought to you by Old Dominion. Orioles have been mashing.
This was scary. You saw Mancini is seen, but that's Jones, and this one right here was a moonshot, and then Mancini again just whips one down the line. That's the 5th one, 2 for him. What a display by the Orioles. 5 home runs in the first 2 innings.
Old Dominion helping the world keep promises. Scope has one of them. He and Mancini went back to back in the first inning. The ball has been flying to left field in particular. Red Sox also with a home run to left. That was Pablo Sandoval.
This kid's got to be tired. He's got to be.
And he's at 58 pitches since he had to come on to relieve Stephen Wright in the second inning. Again, we hope you'll join us at Fenway tomorrow afternoon for the the remake game of the Pirates series, and that'll be Eduardo Rodriguez against Chad Kuhl at 2:05. And the Red Sox will invite in Tampa Bay for 4.
With about 4 different starting times.
7:10, 4:05, 1:35, 11:05 a.m. Only in Boston. And a 1-2. He bid for that. Down he goes. So 2 down. Here's a look at that schedule. Of course, the great tradition on Monday coming up against Tampa Bay at 11 a.m. Patriots Day and Marathon Monday, and then the Red Sox take off to go to Toronto, and we'll see these Orioles again.
Right, they come back again so soon, but 19 times, it's a lot of times.
Scope fans, Hardy the batter, he has singled twice. Hardy last night could have turned out differently had Hardy not botched that certain double play ball in the 7th inning. Double play that would have ended an inning with no runs. It kept it alive. The Red Sox pounced. They would score 3 times to take the lead and go on to win 8-1.
The time of that game, the timing of it, 2-1 game. Inning-ending double play. They get nothing. Red Sox end up getting 3.
Baseball can sometimes be such a cruel game because this guy's been a fine fielder.
Oh, absolutely. This guy's well known. He didn't even get an out. You know, if he got an out, that would have been helpful, but he got nothing.
Fouled back just under us. 1-2 on Hardy. Seth Smith on deck. Should it get that far, 9-4 Baltimore. Sox are going to have Doo-Wop, Benintendi, Betts, and Hanley Ramirez in the bottom of the 5th. Trying to chip away.
Give this kid credit. He's thrown the ball good. He really has impressed with his fastball. That number doesn't tell the story. That ball, this kid's got a real live fastball.
Tomorrow at 1, don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Abboud. Available at Men's Warehouse. TC and Tim Wakefield preview the Red Sox makeup game with the Pirates tomorrow. Lunging pop-up and playable. The catcher Leon wants it. He takes it. Sandy with a nice play there to retire the side. Red Sox trying to dig into a 5-run deficit. But true fact, with his 4 hits and a stolen base yesterday, Christian Vasquez became the first Red Sox catcher to post those stats in a single game since Johnny Peacock did in 1938. One of X's favorite old players. Twisted tea is the hard iced tea that is refreshing and tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted. Now Benintendi leading things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Still time in this one. 9-4 Baltimore. After a horrific start. Red Sox scored 3 times in the 4th inning. Now on to the 5th. Benintendi, Betts, Ramirez.
Jimenez wants to give it up. I'm telling you. He hasn't walked anybody yet. This might be his first guy. Red Sox need base runners.
And that is his first man to pass on. So Benintendi aboard with a walk in front of Mookie Betts. Right now, no one throwing in their bullpen. They did have Wilson up earlier. But they're stretching. Mookie on the night has popped to second and grounded out to third. Started the evening 9 for 19, a .474 batting average against Jimenez.
I feel like Mookie is due, don't you?
Yes. I think Mookie thinks that Mookie's due. Nobody out, a man aboard. Jack, we like your hunches because you're onto something there. I mean, the Sox scored 3 times in the 4th inning, making a game of it after getting a run in the 3rd. So Eck within shouting distance right in the middle of the ball game.
Well, this is where we should be. You can't give up on the Red Sox. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well, All right, get him shooting and scoring, Jack, and see if the Red Sox continue to score here. A base runner. First walk of the game by Jimenez. We'll see if he's cracking a little bit. Back to you. Mookie Betts taking a strike. He has popped up and grounded out. Look at that first home run, first RBI of the season. Against Ubaldo Jimenez, who was born in the Dominican Republic but became a naturalized citizen last year of the United States. That one fouled back out of play. And it's 1-2. That Tiger team's gotten hot. They want to get it a 5-3 over Minnesota. And now 6-2. Won 3 in a row.
I like that Tiger team. I don't like their bullpen.
Rotation pretty solid. Heck of a lineup. One and two on Mookie. Hanley Ramirez next. He has a double tonight. Hit column getting a little closer. 11 for the Orioles, 7 for Boston. Shot to center. Jones right there, though. He'll put it away. One gone. Think Energy, powering Fenway, and the smart choice to power your home. Visit thinkenergy.com to enroll today.
Solid contact there by Betts. Hit it too hard. Carried all the way to Adam Jones.
So Mookie 0 for 3 tonight. He's now 0 for his last 4. He did snap an 0 for 10 last night. Hanley 1 for 2 with that double and a run scored in the 4th inning. Sox do have a home run. Pablo Sandoval blasting one into the monster seats. Hanley Ramirez, over his last 32 regular season games at Fenway, has hit 16 home runs with 41 RBIs in that span. Had an outstanding second half at the plate. He has Benintendi on at first.
He was an MVP like we've talked about the second half of the season. I mean, goodness, as good as he's ever been. The biggest home run he hit, without a doubt, was Betances. That ball, walk-off piece. That wasn't. Was it a walk-off? Yes, it was.
It was. Yep. It's to center field. 1-1. He held off. 2 balls, 1 strike. So now closing in on 100 pitches for Jimenez.
He's going to try to limp to 5 innings is what he's doing.
Moreland next.
If I'm the manager right here, I'm not going to blow this lead, believe me, just to get my man a W out there and go 5 innings. Get my man up. Taylor, take your coat off.
A good count for Hanley if he likes it. The 3-1 will not be made. Diving back in, Benintendi.
Boy, he flinched over there. Where's he going? You watch this flinch. See? Where's he going? You can't be stealing there.
9-4.
Right.
One man out. Long look in by Jimenez. There goes the runner. Swung on and popped up back toward the netting. Castillo looking for room, has none. So Benintendi was in motion.
Kind of shocking right here. I guess he's not, obviously he takes forever to deliver it. He's a great guy to run on, so you're not really worried. If you got some speed, you should get that bag easy, but still 9-4.
However, you do not get picked off there.
I guess you're trying to stay out of the double play. I mean, whoa.
Givens, hard throwing right-hander in their bullpen. Red Sox trail by 5 in the 5th. 3-2 he's holding this time, and check swing foul by Hanley.
Well, that ball just ate him up. This fastball just keeps coming and coming and coming. He's supposed to throw it away. Look where he throws it.
Next one's going to be his 100th pitch, and he only has 1 out in the 5th inning.
Oh yeah.
After being presented a 9-0 lead.
This game can go either way right now.
Three-two coming. Ground ball to the middle, and they'll squeak through for a base hit. Benintendi taking a small turn, but back to second base. And Hanley has his second hit. He's 2 for 3.
Boy, he didn't hit it hard, but that's a C&I ground ball up the middle.
And McDowell's coming out again.
Fastball down away. Not down and away, but he just goes right back up the middle. This ball took a long time to get through the infield. Several hops, but perfectly placed. Hardy can't get there, neither can Scope. Benintendi don't go to third.
2 men aboard for Moreland, who has gone 0 for 2. W.B. Mason delivers Keurig Coffee Brewers and Green Mountain Coffee K-Cup pods the same day directly to your break room when you order by 11:30 in the morning. Who but W.B. Mason? Red Sox trying to build something here. A walk, a single, now Moreland. The Major League's doubles leader with half a dozen. Sox trying to get a little bit closer. Base hit could make it 9-5.
This guy has been pitching to deep counts all night. In and out of the strike zone. One good pitch, one bad pitch.
Another hit here by the Sox would make this very, very interesting. If Moreland can stay hot.
Get a good pitch to hit. This guy's scuffling out there.
Moreland was a star on the Mississippi State 2007 College World Series team. He was a two-way player on that team. He hit 10 home runs. And he pitched in relief 16 times. They had his fastball up around 94. And he checked his swing. Does Jimenez have anything left?
I mean, really, 2-0, nothing ball in the dirt. Doesn't get your manager all that excited for leaving you in.
3-0. He's already walked a man in the inning. 1 away, 2 on.
Get the green light right here.
Thinking about it.
I know.
Instead, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Showalter has seen enough.
Oh yeah, see ya.
So Jimenez, given a 9-0 lead, cannot pitch long enough to qualify for a victory. Givens is coming on. The Red Sox with the bases jammed, and back in a moment. Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Red Sox are down 5, but they have the bases loaded. Jimenez out of the ball game after walking 2 in this inning.
The Red Sox will not let him get that W.
That pitching line brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 104 pitches, and he is done, leaving behind a bit of a mess. And leaving the baseball to Michael Gibbons, who appeared in 66 games last year, went 8-2, a 3.13 ERA, part of their very good bullpen. Xander Bogaerts. RBI single his last time up. He's 1 for 2.
This guy can get it up there. A little 3/4 slot. Got some gas. Fastball slider.
No place to put him though with 1 down. That missed badly. He yanked that one.
I was going to say 3/4. He's almost sidearm.
Benintendi at third. Ramirez at second. Moreland at first.
Boy, he missed so badly with that first pitch. You almost want to take a strike. I mean, where's he going to launch this? You just don't know.
Xander drove in his first run of the season, Eck, in that 4th inning with a base hit.
You don't try to pull right here.
Two and
He's not even close. And those are 2 sliders. Pressure big time.
So if you're Xander, you're sitting dead red, aren't you?
You haven't seen his gas though, so it's hard to calculate it. It's tempting to try to leave earth here.
Gibbons with a 2-0 pitch. Went for it. Fouled it away.
Boy, that's not much hair on a 90 right there. Didn't look like he was trying to pull. That's not his best gas. You see this ball middle. Not a real good swing by Bogaerts.
Pablo Sandoval crushed a home run earlier tonight. He's on deck. Here's the 2-1. Even up on Xander.
Back-to-back swings, almost identical, trying to hit the ball the other way.
Such a huge at bat in this game.
It's a big pitch right here.
You would not have said that an hour and a half ago.
Would have hoped to have this.
When Jimenez had the 9-0 lead. Now 9-4. Bases loaded, 1 out.
We might see a slider here.
2-2, and he spoiled it.
Now a little crossfire gas.
Benintendi started the inning with a walk. Betts lined out hard to center. Hanley Ramirez with a seeing eye single up the middle. Then Moreland took ball 4. Now the Oriole bullpen trying to get out of the jam. Foul away again.
He's filling it up there with fastballs.
Jimenez only able to last 4 1/3 innings despite a big lead. Red Sox capitalized last night. Can they do it again tonight? Xander trying to get something he can handle.
Boy, he's battling, I'll tell you what.
Two and two, 1 down, a man at every base.
He threw 2 sliders that weren't even close, and since that time, nothing but fastballs. Finally shaking. What are you shaking to?
Loop toward left, coming on Mancini. It's going to drop in for a base hit. He did not play that with much confidence. The run is in to score, and that'll make it 9-5. As it came off the bat, didn't you think it was going to be caught?
I did. I think he got fooled on it. Ball the end of the bat. He thought he hit it better than that. It kind of dunked it in there. Fastball, no, slider, end of the bat, and that ball just sort of fooled him. It just fooled him. He gave up on it. A long ways to go. Who knows if he could have caught it or not, but a break for the Red Sox. Perfectly placed out there. Runners go up a base. Bases loaded still. 9-5.
Second RBI of the night for Xander Bogaerts brings up Pablo Sandoval, who belted a line drive home run to the monster seats in his last at bat. Went for the downs. What a rip.
Well, he got that ball, rushed that ball up there a little bit. 92 looks more than that. Ball up out of the zone.
Oh, 2 on the Panda.
Well, this guy's starting to get loose.
Now, how about that stat? Sandoval has not been very good with the bases loaded in his career. Just 171.
Wow, you never see that.
In the hole here. Down he goes, strike 3. 2 down.
Well, he beat him twice on fastballs. The last one, not even close. I don't know how you can even foul that ball off, but you see, pitch to pitch, this fastball by him kind of rose a little bit. You see, this ball's down, but it's got some hair on it. This one's not even close. Opposite location, up and away. See you.
Chris Young now. Chris Young has doubled and singled tonight. He's been a whole lot better with the bases loaded. Does have 4 lifetime grand slams. 9-5 Baltimore. Bases still loaded. Strike 1 on the foul. That was on the fastball.
It's got to be hard to hit for a right-handed hitter. Although he made Sandoval look silly.
Going back to last season, Young in his last 11 starts against Baltimore is hitting around .430. Fouled away. Breaking ball coming in. That was the slider.
Boy, he can pull with the best of them. See why they'd like to play him in the ship. They can't right now.
Sandy Leon on deck. 2 away. Bases loaded up. 1 run in. Long look in and time for Young.
He's got a sweeping slider. I don't know if he wants to throw it right here. You can waste one.
Fly ball center field, but it hangs up. Jones with plenty of space, and the Red Sox will leave them loaded. That's a frustrating inning. They scored just the 1. 9-5 Baltimore. Next win, Plain Ridge Park Casino donates $777 to the Relay for Life of Greater Attleboro. Red Sox have scored 5 times over the last 3 innings. Certainly we're looking for some more there. And wound up loading up the bases, getting 1 run in. Chris Young with a fly to center field to Jones to end that threat. So it is on to the 6th inning. Fernando Abad to make his first appearance of the season. The left-hander out of the pen. 1-6 last year with an ERA .366 between the Twins and the Red Sox.
Kind of surprised to see him make this team. A lot of people thought they weren't going to go with him, but they did. I've always liked him, but when he got here, he just didn't pitch very well for us.
Now, there was a confidence issue, I think, with John Farrell by the end of last year.
Well, it started with Cano's 3-run bomb in Seattle, wasn't it? The hanging breaking ball or something.
That was right out of the chute for him. Right after the trade. Here's Seth Smith now. He's been hit by a pitch, lined out, and hit into a double play. The leadoff hitter for the Orioles. 9 runs, 11 hits for Baltimore. 5 runs and 9 hits for the Red Sox. Stephen Wright knocked off the hill after an inning and a third tonight. Gave up 8 runs on 8 hits and 4 homers. So it's been uphill for the Red Sox all night.
That's it.
Taylor did a nice job. You don't want to forget that. I mean, he kept just one home run. Mancini got him, but that's about it. Taylor did a nice job.
Adam Jones on deck, and the 1-1 from the left-hander.
Fastball, he can get up there. Throws pretty hard. 92, 94 maxed out, and he's got a breaking ball that's tough on left-handers. They got a changeup that he'll throw to right-handers.
Smith, the guy, makes good contact. He's been around a while. 34 years old now. He's been with Colorado, Oakland, San Diego, Seattle, and now Baltimore. Bunch of games have already gone final. The Tigers won earlier today, 5-3 over the Twins. Yankees beat Tampa Bay 8-4. Ground ball into the ship. Pedroia from shallow right. One man gone here in the 6th inning. Time for a game break now, brought to you by Jordan's The Furniture Store, the Boston Red Sox. Here's TC. All right, back at Fenway here. One man gone for Adam Jones, who hit a home run in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 3. And Machado will follow him. Early in March, the Orioles had a spring training game at their home in Sarasota, which is Dick Vitale's hometown. He came to the game and started chatting with Jones. They struck up a conversation. Dick Vitale let it be known he was doing a game at Cameron Indoor Stadium at Duke, a basketball game the next night. As that one is lined down the line, Betts will scoop it up and hold him to a base hit. 2nd hit of the night for Jones. And Adam Jones said, I've never been there before. I'm a basketball fan. Dick Vitale said, hop on my plane. I'll take you up with me.
Dick Vitale has a plane?
He's got his own plane. So he took him up. The next day, Jones wasn't playing. He came up and he saw the Duke baseball players in practice right next door. And he said, I'm going to go over and say hello. And took some pictures, signed some autographs. Kids loved it. Went in, he watched the game, hopped on the flight home with Dickie V after the game, played the next day and hit 2 home runs.
So now he's pals with Dickie.
He and Dickie V are close personal friends. He's a big basketball fan. Wanted to get a look at Cameron Indoor, which is like a Fenway Park for college basketball.
You've been on Dickie's plane?
I have.
Okay. Just once?
Sweet.
Sweet. Several times?
I can't say more. Okay. I'll just say it's a sweet ride.
Okay.
Joe Kelly getting loose in the Sox bullpen.
He'd be my best friend.
He is, believe me.
Yes.
And a terrific guy. One man out. Lashed foul by Machado. A double, a ground out, and a fly out for him tonight. Machado's won 2 Gold Gloves, but he did not win last year. It went to Adrian Beltre.
That's surprising, because I thought Beltre lost a little bit last year. What I saw of him. Meanwhile, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I think you're right. A combination of batting average, power, great defense, great leadership.
Yes. How about this kid? How are the Orioles going to keep this kid? The kind of money that he's going to need. Want. You're talking whatever, 250 million, whatever. Harper's talking about 400, did he say? 300? Whatever.
Piece of the ball club?
Well, you talk about 10-year deal, aren't you? The age this kid is. And if Price is making 30, what's he worth?
Machado had a huge year last year. 24 years old. Jones at first with one down. Jones certainly could go. 4-run Oriole lead. It was 9-0 early in the game.
I don't know what the grand total of stolen bases were for the Orioles last year, but absolutely pathetic. Historically, I mean, he runs a little bit, but he doesn't steal any bags. I mean, per se.
They did hit more home runs than anybody in the majors. 253. And tonight, a reminder of that. Fouled back. Tonight, they've hit 5.
When you got Seth Smith leading off, you know you haven't got a speedy club.
Yes, you're not built on your legs.
No. In that ballpark, though, too, you know, that plays right to their power, to say the least.
They've certainly built that kind of a team under Dan Duquette. 3-2, ground ball to Bogaerts, to Pedroia. That's 1. That's 2. And about out of the inning with the twin killing. Perks, you can earn a free beverage when you enroll, and speed past the line with on-the-go ordering. DD Perks, everyone deserves an upgrade. Download the Dunkin' app today. Speeding past the line may not be possible at all locations. Bottom of the 6th inning, 9-5 Orioles. And Sandy Leon leading off with a single and a fly out. So another hit for Sandy. He's hitting .381. Dustin Pedroia and then Andrew Benintendi after him.
I'll tell you what, this Givens came out throwing 2. He launched 2 balls, right? 2 sliders, throwing strikes ever since. 13 strikes in a row.
Finally a miss.
Finally.
A rough night for the starting pitching, really both ways. Stephen Wright had the worst night of his Red Sox career, certainly an inning and a third, 8 runs. But Ubaldo Jimenez was handed a 9-0 lead. He did not pitch long enough to qualify for the victory as he gave up 4 runs, 8 hits.
100 pitches, 104 pitches and 4 1/3. I mean, my goodness. In and out of the strike zone, just no command.
Little trickler. Givens will flip on to get him. Jimenez was officially charged with 5 runs. So that's not what Showalter had in mind. Ace Ticket is Boston's trusted source for Red Sox tickets with the best seats at the lowest prices. All with a 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. One away, Dustin Pedroia, the batter, 1 for 3 tonight. Hit the ball hard 3 times.
There's that sweeping slider.
Dustin up to 313, looking for that first home run. Got jammed big time there. Givens flips on to get him. 2 up, 2 down.
Back to back to the pitcher. You don't see that too often. That breaking ball didn't break. He got jammed on it.
Benintendi took a walk, scored a run last inning. He's also driven in a run with a sacrifice fly and fly to left. Arizona Diamondbacks play a little bit later on the West Coast in San Francisco, but they have the best record in baseball. 7-2.
It's a crazy thing about this game. If you started off 7-2, everybody thinks you have a chance to take the division, right? And in the middle of the season, you go 7-2. Some of the worst teams in the game go 7-2 over 9 games,
Sure
spread,
they do,
right? But if you do it at the start, oh, here they come. Here comes Arizona.
Well, it amps up the hope, doesn't it? That hit him. Benintendi twisting, trying to get out of the way, but hit by the pitch. So he'll take his base. He's aboard for the second time tonight. Mookie Betts next. It's been a quiet night so far for Mookie. 0 for 3. Pop up a ground out and a hard liner to center.
He's going to explode one of these games.
You would have bet it would be against Baltimore.
Right.
Given what he did to them last year. Which was kind of amazing. With the 9 home runs.
The 5 home runs in the 2 games.
That was a major league record for a leadoff man in a 2-game span. It was 5 home runs. Those were in Baltimore. High fly into left field. Mancini, though, with plenty of space. That will retire the side. Red Sox strand 1, still 9-5 Baltimore. Boston Globe, since moving to Baltimore in '54, the Orioles have never lost a game they led by 9 or more runs. They had a 9-0 lead tonight. It's 9-5 now as we go to the 7th. Congrats to the Bruins. Great win tonight. They beat the Senators 2-1.
Beautiful.
So up a game. Chris Davis leading off the 7th. Home run and a double for him. One of the 5 home runs hit by the Orioles. They came early, all within the first 3 innings. Davis with a mammoth drive to right field in the second. And the other 4 were all to left. The Red Sox have 1 home run as well. That's Pablo Sandoval, 2-run blow in the 4th inning. Fernando Abad. There's a shattered bat. Looper. That may find a home, and it will. So Davis has a 3-hit game. The bat exploding.
He'll give up that bat for a base hit right there. Ball just creeped into his hands. He just fights this ball off. That's what happens when you hit it on the label.
John Farrell's going to go to the bullpen here. He'll take the single along with a double and a home run. Triple away from the cycle. That does it for Abad, and we'll be back with more as Kelly comes on out of the pen in just a moment. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. 9-5 Baltimore. Big moon tonight. Top half of the 7th inning. The Orioles have a base runner after the shattered bat single by Davis. And Joe Kelly comes out of the pen. He finished last night's victory here with a scoreless 9th inning. He gets Trumbo, who has an RBI single. He's 1 for 3. One of the Orioles who has not hit the ball over the fence tonight. And taking a high one at 97.
There's a good spot right here for Kelly. Come in here, faced all these right-handed hitters.
Trumbo, another one at 97, but that one missed. 2-0.
It's hard for him to harness that major gas when he really tunes it up to like almost 100. It's hard to throw strikes when you throw that hard.
Davis with a tiny lead at first base and a 2-0 to the number 5 hitter. He scalds that line drive for a base hit. Back-to-back singles now, and the Orioles, who haven't scored in a few innings, in fact the last 3 they've been scoreless, making some noise here. The monster deal plus 60 is going on now at Jordan's Furniture. Buy as much furniture and mattresses as you want, and if the Red Sox sweep the World Championship, it'll be yours for free. 2 on for Castillo. Wellington Castillo to base hit. He's whiffed and he's lined to center. Signed a 1-year deal with the Orioles. Played for Arizona last year. Now managed by Torey Lovello. And riding high in the National League West at the moment.
Torey's got it going on. Good for him.
He has a very aggressive style as a manager, at least with this ball club. They run a lot.
And they can hit.
They can hit a little bit.
They can hit.
They got Paul Goldschmidt, who's a legitimate star. Good to see Torey doing so well early. He was terrific here with the Red Sox.
They got a nice lineup. You got Pollock back. He missed that. That was crucial for them. They lost a lot of guys last year, injury-wise. Not that we care.
It's a dangerous guy for Joe Kelly. He's faced Castillo 14 times. Castillo has 6 hits. He stays away at 99. First and second, nobody out.
Not quite sure where he's going to throw one. He's all over the place.
Long set and a 2-1. Liner down the line. Fair ball. That'll rattle around. 1 run is in. Davis scores. Trumbo churning around. He's coming in. He's going to score. Gets away from Pedroia. Now racing into third. Castillo the throw, and he's safe. So 2 more runs cross the plate.
You know, nice piece of hitting by Castillo. You know, a looking fastball. They're thinking they got a shot at him at third base. He's lucky he got in there, but fastball away. Doesn't try to do too much. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. You see him looking the other way. That fastball will supply the power. Believe me, that ball jumps down the line. That's trouble. Mookie's so far away from that. You know, Trumbo can't run very well, but he's going to score on this thing easily. And then he holds up the brakes right there because they didn't get it cleanly. You see, Moreland's got a good arm. He almost threw him out. He stumbles. Probably thought they might have tagged him and he came off the bag because he tripped a little bit. But he's safe.
See how they rule on this play as Castillo slides into third.
He got his hand down right there.
Yeah, Red Sox were thinking about a challenge on it.
But he did get his hand down.
And indeed are going to challenge it.
I don't know. I saw that hand get down.
So this play is under review.
He's going to keep the tag on him. You don't see the tag there. This is not a good shot. Let's see the right hand and see the tag. Foot's on. Then it's off. But his right hand came down. That I think helped him. I think this is a good call by the umpire. Let's look at how close this is. His hand's down. I'm going with the safe call.
Right now 11-5 Baltimore. In any event, Castillo with an extra base hit to drive in a pair of runs. That was a bad matchup for Joe Kelly.
Yes.
Because Castillo's now 7 for 15 off him.
You know, everybody sits on fastball. You know, the way he's thrown this inning, missed badly with a couple fastballs to Trumbo. He hits a bullet to left field on a 2-0 pitch. Same here with Castillo. It's a nice piece of hitting. You'd think he'd try to crank, but he hits it down the right field line. 2-run score. Kelly scuffling right here.
A double down the line, or maybe a triple. See how they rule on this.
He stopped. You see that he didn't. This ball wasn't caught cleanly. See, that's the error. The error is on Pedroia because he stopped. He wasn't going to go to third.
I agree. Therefore, it ought to be a double and an error. Though they haven't posted anything yet. No official ruling. And it's taken a while. It's supposed to be 2 minutes this year. Not to say they can't go over it on the review back in New York, but this is over it right now.
You got to see him hold the tag. Watch his right hand. Does it get to the base before he gets tagged? I think it does. See?
That didn't, and he kept the tag on. I think he then brought the knee down and held the bag, so he's going to be safe.
I still say there's an error on Pedroia out there.
If that's the case, it'll be Petey's first of the season. We'll see how they rule. So 2 runs in. That'll make it a lot tougher. 11-5 now. The Red Sox had some momentum the last couple of innings. First time that the Orioles have scored since the 3rd.
There's that breaking ball. That's what he needs.
And it will be a double and an error on Dustin Pedroia. Mancini has homered twice tonight. He's also walked, so he's been perfect. He's driven in 4 runs. Well, he fits right in with this team.
Yes, he does. You got to launch. You can't play if you can't launch. That's the thing about Kelly. You know, he's got this nasty stuff, a big arm. But I'm a little leery with him coming in 8th inning, and I think that Farrell feels the same way at this point. I think Barnes has taken that job is what's happened.
Well, right now Matt Barnes is earning it. Yeah.
Right.
He's going out and earning that position.
And you just stay with a hot hand. That's the way the game goes.
Infield in about halfway here for the Red Sox on the right side. Several steps in on the left, the 2-2.
There it is.
That is in there, and he got him looking. And no argument from the youngster.
You see how nasty that he can be with that gas, and then you have this little wrinkle that he can throw. That'll buckle anybody.
That's a good curve.
It's a real good curveball. And that's as good as it goes for him. You bottle that thing right there.
First out in the inning, however. Infield stays put, leaning in. His Scope. Another Oriole swings for the fences, and he homered in the first inning. He and Mancini went back to back. It's a nightmare first for Stephen Wright, who was only out there an inning and a third tonight. Has had a lot of good outings for the Red Sox here, but tonight was his worst.
You got to forget about it. You know, get him the next time, but it's tough. That's the toughest thing about a starting pitcher. You got to hang around for 5 days thinking about that.
Not only the 5 days. I mean, you're out of the game in the second inning.
Right.
So you're hanging around all night.
Oh man, it's brutal. I couldn't sleep. Forget about it.
And Steven's got that kind of personality that lends itself to the ability to shake it off quickly.
Yes, I think so.
Which I'm sure he's grateful for.
That'll test the best of us.
I'll bet. Already on deck. 15 hits for Baltimore, so they've returned the favor. Sox had 15 last night. Runner at third base, Castillo, and that's well wide. The Red Sox, it'll be a pretty quick turnaround. Right back at it tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock against the Pirates, the makeup game.
Pittsburgh getting spanked tonight. 9-2. They're coming from Pittsburgh. Obviously, they're at home. That division is different, I think, this year. Like I was talking about St. Louis. I don't see St. Louis being as good as they always are. I don't see Pittsburgh being as good either. Just how my opinion.
Little chop foul. That's off his foot.
You know, to compete with that club, Chicago, it's disheartening as it is. You know, last year you're playing good, and they're playing out of their minds last year.
103 wins.
I mean, come on, it's
pretty darn good. Cincinnati's off to a good start.
Right, but they're rebuilding.
They're 6-2.
Once again, they're 6-2. Hooray.
Yeah. About to go to 7-2.
There they are. Powerhouse.
Check that date.
Yes.
2-2 from Kelly. This is a better matchup for Joe because Scope was just 3 for 15 off him.
He just threw that a bean. That's the first bean of the year for Kelly. 100 miles an hour. Everything's high with that gas. It's hard to throw low paint with 100 miles an hour. You got to finish, get all the way through it. You can't just stand up.
Man on third, one away. The 3-2 off the middle base hit. So that's going to make it 12-5 Baltimore. Scope with his second RBI. This turning into a big inning, this 7th inning. Red Sox had hopes, but now 3 runs in.
Fastball for a strike, up the middle, base hit easy, RBI.
So now back up to a 7-run deficit for the Red Sox. Hardy the batter, 2 for 3. They have a lot of guys with multi-hit games. Stopped by Leon.
That game was all about the 5th inning, bases loaded.
For the Red Sox, yeah.
Yes, and Givens came out throwing 2 balls, 2-0. It's like, here they come.
7 different Orioles have more than 1 hit. In at 87, the slider. Orioles have out hit the Red Sox 16-9. And Kelly with a 1-1. Tried to hold up, and he did. Says Gabe Morales he'll have the plate if they hold this crew over, but we'll see if they do. In tomorrow's game, they're likely to go elsewhere.
Yeah, you would think.
Here for 2 games. Sometimes they will keep the crew after a short series, but unlikely. And a check swing, that'll miss. It's only 1 game tomorrow, so that'll be interesting. Who umpires? 3 balls, 1 strike on Hardy. Kelly not razor sharp, 24 pitches, only 12 strikes. Pedroia flips to shortstop Bogarts for 1, on to first for 2. So the Red Sox for the 2nd straight inning turn a double play, but the Orioles also scored 3 times. Annual Watertown Police Finish Strong 5K road race on Sunday, April 30th. Race initially established due to the events occurring in Watertown following the Boston Marathon bombings. Sign up right now at watertownstrong4.racewire.com. Last half of the 7th inning, Red Sox trailed 12-5. They just showed the last Bruins goal tonight in the victory over the Senators in Game 1, as the Bruins took Game 1 2-1. Came from behind in that one.
I was pleasantly surprised. You know, it was 1-0. I thought it was over. Bruins fans have to be psyched.
Nothing's over until we say it is. Hanley tonight with a double, a single, and a fly ball that was caught in right field. It is a defensive change here for the Orioles. We'll bring you in a moment. Gentry taking over in right field, moving Smith from right to left field. So Mancini, who homered twice tonight, is now out of the game. And Buck Showalter's Orioles have been mashing tonight to the tune of 16 hits and 5 homers. A lot of games are final, but they're in the middle innings at Wrigley Field tonight, with the Dodgers in the 4th inning on top of the Cubs 1-0. Ring night for the Cubs. They waited a century for that. Back to the hill. Good stab there by Givens for the out. Well, he's made some plays.
Yeah, he's made 3 plays out of the last 4 outs.
Enjoy the Fenway experience with your group. Red Sox group outings are the perfect way to entertain your clients, boost employee morale, and more. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. So Givens is done. Buck Showalter will go to the bullpen. It's Donnie Hart coming in to face Moreland. And we'll take the break and be back at Fenway with more in just a moment. Back on Saturday, NESN will bring you an hour of pre and post game coverage. The Bruins taking on Ottawa in game 2. Quest for the Cup on NESN, brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity One will change the way you experience TV. Great start for the Bruins tonight to the series. Now 12-5 Baltimore here, and they bring on a new left-hander in Hart. He was named their 2016 Jim Palmer Minor League Pitcher of the Year winner. Just got his first career major league win against the Yankees the other day.
Well, he's tough on left-handers. You'll see right away.
Nobody aboard, 1 out for the Red Sox here in the 7th inning. Moreland hitless so far tonight, 0 for 2 with a walk.
You see that arm angle.
Mitch hitting right at 300. Good power. He's yet to homer.
Well, he's bailing right there, slashing at it.
It's a game that, if you're just joining us and you've been following the Bruins and just turned over in the last several minutes, it's a game that got away in a heartbeat. The Orioles scored 6 times in the first inning against Stephen Wright. That one lashed down the line. He went the other way beautifully. Maybe another double. He's headed that way. Smith digs it out. That's double number 7 this season. A doubles machine, Mitch Moreland.
Is he ever? And off a tough left-hander, stays in there. After looking bad on the pitch before, bailing and slashing, he stays right there. And that is beautiful. Look at the eyes. It lit him up. He's got all the room in the world to take that ball down the line. It's a double once again, number 7.
So he has doubled in 6 games in a row. He's on for Xander Bogaerts. Xander showing signs that he is starting to put things together. Despite the score here tonight, he's 2 for 3 with a couple of RBIs, 2 hits his last 2 at bats.
Great at bat, last at bat, fighting off all those pitches.
Tim Wakefield, of course, with TC on the post-game show. Get Tim's opinion, of course. It's a pretty darn good opinion on what went wrong with Stephen Wright tonight. Just an ugly outing for Stephen, trying to shake that off and forget about it. But they got 9 runs over the first 3 innings. Red Sox made some noise in the middle innings, getting a run in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th, another run in the 5th to stick their nose back in the game. But the Orioles just got 3 in the top of this inning to lead it 12-5. And Hart with a 1-1. Chopped over the mound. Gonna be a tough play. In fact, no play. And another base hit. They're safe on the corners. Bogaerts with his 3rd consecutive single.
Well, he'll take that one. Last time up, he hit the ball at the end of the bat, dropped in front of Mancini out there. And then you see this right here over the head of Hart. Another base hit. 3 hits on the night for Bogey. Not exactly crushed, but you'll take it. Ball's out of the strike zone, I think, away. Hart can't make a play on it because nobody else is gonna.
Sandoval next. That was the Sandoval home run, the 2-run shot in the 4th inning. It really gave the Red Sox a flash of hope.
It did, and the next at bat was a huge at bat when he struck out. Looked bad, 3 pitches.
It was with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. But back to the home run swing.
Look at him go down here all the way across the plate to hit this ball. Ball's running away from him. He gets enough of it, carves this thing out of the ballpark.
Pablo's 2nd home run this year. Red Sox do have 11 hits. The Orioles with an avalanche of home runs. Tried to hold up. That's a swing and a miss. And the count 0-2. For every Red Sox home run this season, Speedway donates $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. Visit your Boston area Speedway during April. Use your Speedy Rewards card when you purchase $3 of in-store merchandise and get 10 cents off per gallon of gas. Popped up, playable. Catcher Castillo behind the plate. Down he goes, but he hangs on. And there are 2 down.
Seemed like that wasn't that tough of a catch, huh? Starts backpedaling. Falls on his back. He's got his eye on it.
So 2 men away for Chris Young. He's had a good night at the plate with a double and a single. Average getting up there near 300. Moreland with another double now at third base, and Bogaerts with his 3rd single of the game on at first. That dives in for a strike.
Not much on it, but it just sort of gets the job done. Down at the bottom of the strike zone.
Yeah, that was 79.
Like, ugh.
Did you ever make that sound when you threw a strike?
That doesn't sound good, huh?
0-1. That one barely missed. First couple of pitches, and 1-1 now on Young. Red Sox Pirates tomorrow afternoon at 2. And Tampa Bay in for a wraparound series.
You remember how Rich Hill, when he was here with the Red Sox, how he was throwing submarine? Remember that?
Yeah.
Then he hurt his arm.
Yep.
And it's like you thought he was done. Next thing you know, he gets back on top throwing curveballs, gets $15-16 million a year for 3 years. I mean, he is the man out in L.A. Got blisters again, I just heard.
He's had that problem.
Yeah. But anyway, that reminds me of how a guy goes from that to that. It's incredible, this game.
Turned his career around. Wave and a miss, and I remember having a long conversation with him, Joe Castiglione and I, with Rich Hill over dinner one night about spin rate. And he was such a big believer, really before anyone was talking much about spin rate.
He was into it then.
Huge, yeah. But it was, again, after the injury you were talking about. And, you know, doing what Rick Porcello does so well, hitting all those spots in the strike zone.
And he's got the curveball that changes planes or whatever it is.
Yep.
He's really turned his whole life around. Good for him. He's a good guy, too.
He's a terrific kid. Massachusetts guy. 2-2. He struck him out. So the Red Sox threaten but do not score. Still 12-5 Baltimore. On presented by Capital One. This is Banking Reimagined. Trey Mancini with a pair of home runs. He has been really, really impressive in a very short period of time for the Baltimore Orioles.
Boy, he's made his mark. I'll tell you tonight, 2 balls right center field and whips one out down the left field line. That's impressive.
Red Sox with a defensive change. We'll get to that in a moment as Seth Smith leads things off here in the 8th inning against Joe Kelly. Marco Hernandez is now in the ball game at second base to relieve Dustin Pedroia. Petey 1 for 4 tonight with a base hit and has now hit safely in every game this season. 8 straight. Milwaukee beat Toronto 2-0. The Blue Jays continue to spiral here early on.
That was Stroman that lost, right? Pitched a pretty good game. He only lost 2-0.
The 1-1.
You know, you were talking about Chicago getting the rings tonight, what have you. I was just thinking, the story out there to me, have you ever seen like the situation with David Ross, all the publicity he's gotten, you know, the Dancing with the Stars, and he's coming on TV with the station, and he's going to be working for the other ESPN or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What a life, huh? I mean, all the respect that he got for what he did over there.
Well, and to go out the way he did.
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
Backup catcher getting all that. It's really amazing.
Well, he was beloved here.
I know.
In the Boston clubhouse. You know, the Red Sox won the World Series, and he was, of course, catching come the World Series every game.
Yeah, and he got a big hit off of Wainwright. I remember down the line there.
Yep.
And then last year, the home run off of Miller.
Yes.
Dead center field.
In his last major league game. Game 7 of the World Series for the Chicago Cubs.
That is a charmed life right there to end it up. Who could end up it like that, retirement?
He's got a Red Sox ring. He's got a Cubs ring. And God knows what's going to happen on Dancing with the Stars, right? I don't follow it, but
he's making some iron.
I hope so.
Yeah. You're not going to do that with not iron at the end of it. I'll tell you what. Make a fool out of yourself for that.
I haven't gotten a look at the Cubs rings because, you know, they got him tonight up the middle. Xander Bogaerts with a stab and will set down Smith. But again, there are 108 diamonds on those. Going back to last time they won one, and they're supposed to be pretty darn spectacular at $70,000.
Wow.
Friday at 5:30. Don't miss Friday Night Fenway presented by Budweiser. TC will be joined by John Farrell live on the field here at Fenway. Friday Night Fenway presented by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Hey!
Harry was there when I was in Chicago back in the mid '80s.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize you played for the Cubs.
Yeah.
Adam Jones with a home run and a single. What was it like being around Harry at that time?
I don't know. He's boxed all the time. He was oiling, man. I'm telling you, going at it.
He was boxed all the time.
I don't know. I don't know if he's doing it while he was doing the game, but he was something. He was character.
Oh, he would, and we're not talking out of school here about the late Harry Carey.
I was careful there. I didn't know what to say.
He would pop a beer,
yeah,
you know, during a broadcast at Budweiser.
That was perfect for him.
Yeah. He was the Bud man.
Yeah. We almost won the thing in '84. It was I tell you, that's a hell of a town.
It's a great town.
It really is.
I think Chicago's got a lot of Boston in it myself.
It does.
1-1 wrap foul. And as a baseball town.
And you know, when I was there, they're playing all day games. There was no lights. I left, they put the lights in. I would have stayed if they would have got some lights. The day games will kill you, right? The visiting players love it. You know, they could deal with anything for 3 days, but then they go back to playing night games. That's hard to do in the summertime.
Sure. Jones fouls that one back. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That city will bring you to your knees, man.
Well, and it's such a great restaurant town.
Yes.
So you play the game and everyone has time to go out and have a great dinner.
Game. Yeah.
You forget you've got to turn around and be back in the clubhouse at 8 in the morning.
I hated it. I am not a day person. I'm still not a day person. I love night games.
I hear you.
Well, that fastball gets away from him, doesn't it? He just, every time he humps up, it's high.
2-2. Jones with one of the 5 home runs that they've hit tonight. High fly, a twisting fly to Mookie Betts. 2 down. Don't miss NESN Live. Weeknights at 5:30 on NESN. Catch the latest on your favorite New England sports teams. NESN Live presented by Cross Insurance.
I wonder what the old time broadcasters were like. You know what they did, huh? Wouldn't you like to know what they used to do?
There are a lot of stories.
I mean, yeah, I bet there are.
You know a lot of them.
Yeah. And it's not like that anymore.
A different era.
Totally.
Machado the batter. He's gone 1 for 4 with a double.
I was around some good ones though. Jack Buck in St. Louis. I was lucky enough to be there before he passed away.
Yeah. I adored Jack Buck. One of the first big time announcers I met when I broke into baseball as a very young announcer, and he wrapped that big paw around my shoulder and he said, "Welcome to the big leagues, kid.
Yeah.
Hope you have a long one."
I can't believe what I just saw. That's what he dropped on me.
He did.
I could believe what I saw
on the Gibson home.
Yeah, didn't he? So he got a great call for that. I'm glad everybody got a chance to make a good call on that.
Vin Scully did too.
He did. Meanwhile, I got to eat that.
I don't know. I look at it like this. All these years later, it was 1988.
Right.
So it's in the pantheon of the greatest moments in this sport. And you're
really,
right there.
I know, it really is.
And you were the best in the business.
I had to go do an appearance with him for Joe Torre last year, me and Gibson.
Big swing and a miss here by Machado. How did that go? Because it's not the first time, right?
It's the first time we sat there and with a bunch of people that paid a lot of money to see me just, me and him sit there and talk about it.
What was that like?
It was terrible, but I did it because of Joe Torre for his safe at home or whatever it was. Yep. It was in LA. I flew out there and we just sat down and watched the whole thing and discussed it. It was all right. I'm just kidding. It was all right.
I know you handled it great. 3-2 foul back out of play.
That's life, I mean, I could deal with it. It's been 30 years, but seeing him now, I mean, I'm friendly with Gibson now. It's kind of nice. We're sort of stuck with each other. I mean, that's cool.
I think that's the way. My opinion doesn't mean anything, but that's the way to look at it. That's the way to handle it. Exactly.
I didn't mean stuck with him, but
But you're paired together in history.
Yeah, you might as well just get used to it. Uh-oh.
That'll be a routine play for Young. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. That for the first time by the Red Sox pitching staff tonight against the Orioles. Xfinity. Ubaldo Jimenez did not qualify for a victory tonight, even though he had a 9-0 lead. 4 1/3, 5 earned. Mancini, a big night for the young kid with a couple of home runs. Davis 3 for 4 with a homer. Ugly night for Stephen Wright, of course, an inning and a third, 8 hits, 8 earned runs. Xander Bogaerts, however, busting out of some early season issues with the bat. 3 hits so far. 12-5 Baltimore here in the last half of the 8th inning. Sandy Leon bidding for his second hit with a .364 average. Marco Hernandez back in the lineup as a substitute tonight. He's on deck. Hart, the left-hander. Misses outside and low.
Ball just never gets there. There's not much on it. Tries to keep it down.
Red Sox and the Pirates tomorrow. The Red Sox win that game, they sweep that series. And drilled in for a strike. A lot of games now final around Major League Baseball. Dodgers still leading the Cubs 1-0 in the 7th. Fly ball to right. And Gentry, who's out there now, makes that catch for the out. Tomorrow at 1:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC and Tim Wakefield will preview the Rodriguez start against the Bucks. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
It'd be weird to see Pirates come back, huh?
Strange,
really,
yeah.
Very strange.
For one day. As the rain was falling, the last game of that series was washed out. Teams were getting together, comparing schedules. When might they be able to come back?
It was a no-brainer for the Red Sox.
Yep.
Right? I mean, because they're right in the middle of a homestand. That's a beautiful thing. Pirates got to come in here, spend the night tonight, get out of here. There's such thing as a one-day road trip. They must be on the road going forward, I bet.
0-1, a wave and a miss by Hernandez, who's hitting .286 at the moment. What it does do is force the Red Sox to play 17 straight days.
Right, that's what it did.
And 30 times in 31 days. That was the consideration, but the Red Sox didn't want to have to jam in what might be a more valuable off day, play a game on a more valuable off day later in the season, when you're a little more tired.
But it can wipe you out, because if you don't get length from your starting pitching, which they've gotten over the course of the first 7 games, they have. In fact, their bullpens pitched the least amount of innings out of the bullpen. And that's what you need, because you'll wear it out if you got to play that many days in a row. And early in the season, you can't let the guys, starting pitchers, go more than 100 pitches.
Yeah, Red Sox getting length up until tonight. One-two to Hernandez. He won't chase it. Last half of the 8th inning, 12-5 Baltimore. Crowd at Fenway is thinned out, as you might guess, considerably, given the hour and the score. And a 2-2. That ran inside. It's an early sample at the big league level against lefties for Marco, but he is 7 for 14 against them.
I like his bat. I mean, this kid looks like he knows what he's doing up there.
Not that time. Down he goes on a slider. So 2 down.
Not going to have too many at bats off a guy like this. There's not too many guys that throw like Hart.
Here's Benintendi tonight. A fly to left, a sac fly to drive in a run. He's also walked and scored. Last time up, got hit by a pitch. Lefty lefty here with the bases empty. 2 down. Mookie Betts still in the game. He's on deck. Mookie's still got that string of plate appearances. That's fouled at the plate where he has not struck out. It's now at 100.
Wow.
Regular season plate appearances. He did strike out in the playoffs, but 100 consecutive regular season plate appearances without a K.
There was a time when he went through maybe last year, he never grounded into a double play. Remember, he was hard to double up.
Yeah. I think that's going to be true for a long time.
Yeah. He gets out of the box.
But he's had a quiet night so far. CVS Health is investing $50 million over the next 5 years to extend their commitment to helping people lead tobacco-free lives, move us one step closer toward a tobacco-free generation. Learn more at cvshealth.com/be-the-first. 2-1, and that drops in.
Well, that's hard to stay back. Guys underneath throwing a little frisbee. 76. You don't see too many right-handed pitchers throw this salad up there.
Cut on and missed, and strike 3. That's all for the Sox. They go in order, and we go to the 9th inning here at Fenway. Game at midnight on Sox in 2. Sox in 2 brought to you by Jeep, the most awarded lineup of SUVs ever. A great tight shot there by our Mike Narachi in on the moon. Last night about 2 o'clock in the morning, as Robbie Scott comes on to pitch here, was supposed to be the best shot you're going to get for many months of the moon. And my wife, I think, has long since gone to bed, said this morning, you know, I was planning on getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
To see it? Did you see it?
No.
Did you notice that?
Not getting up at 2 o'clock in the
Oh,
morning.
I thought you were up.
Well, she didn't either. Sacked out, forgot about it.
Get up to see the moon?
To see the moon. Bruce Davis here. He has doubled, singled, and homered. We lived down in Florida. We used to be able to, when they did night launches of the space shuttle or satellites, we used to be able to walk right out in our front yards and see it. Yeah, clear as day, beautiful.
That's got to be hundreds of miles away, right?
For us, it wasn't that far. Wasn't that far to Cape Canaveral.
Where were you?
150, 200 miles, something like that.
Miami?
We were in West Palm Beach.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
That's where I am.
So it was wonderful to be able to see that. Nuno, the left-hander.
Robbie Scott, almost the same angle as Hart from the Orioles. Ball
Trickled out. He'll get it.
Crushed to the pitcher.
He's crushed a couple tonight. Hey, you and I were talking about that amazing moment of yours with Kirk Gibson and that home run in 1988, and you know, you guys getting together. This was a couple of years ago in Detroit, right?
Right.
The two of you.
Yeah.
Mano y mano in the hallway.
And then he talked to me later on. He wanted to talk to me about it, and he said to me, I was like, oh my goodness, this is going to be a moment or what? He wanted to tell me that he didn't want it. He didn't try to show me up. This is like 25 years later, whatever it was. And he's telling me, hey, I didn't mean to show you up. I'm like, what? I mean, I'm cool with it, man. You could go do cartwheels after you do something like that. I don't care. You are so happy. I mean, how can you? He's ecstatic. I mean, that moment. And he was worried how I was going to take it because he was going like this.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And I was like, hey, I'm cool. You didn't have to. You scared me, man.
Nearly 3 decades later.
It's like, what, he thinks if I pass away, I don't want to go without telling you I didn't mean to show you up. Meanwhile, I'm punching guys out daily. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a big deal.
Classy thing for him to do.
I agree. I totally agree. And it was a moment. And I don't know. It's something you don't forget.
Wow.
Either way, that and the bomb. You know?
One of the all-timers in baseball history. Trumbo has gone 2 for 4 with a couple of singles tonight. Baltimore does have 16 hits. Sox have 11. He was trying to hit another Oriole home run. Down he goes, strike 3.
Well, that's a funky swing. It slipped that 90 by him. I don't want to say anything about how fast that ball is, but this is a ball he normally doesn't throw upstairs, and you see what happens. Ball even looks like it's rising up there.
Two up, 2 down. Sends up Wellington Castillo hitting .381. 2 for 4 tonight.
I'm impressed with the way he swings the bat.
Well, there hasn't been a catcher in this series who isn't swinging the bat between the two teams. (12-5) Baltimore. That one launched toward the wall.
Look at this guy.
Off the 10. Safely aboard with a single, and he is 3 for 5.
Another rope. Hit the ball the other way down the right field line. A beautiful swing, and you see that one off the wall. This guy uses the whole ballpark. Got some pop. Man. Ball's middle. He lifts it. Stung it. Nice follow through. Maybe that's why it takes him so long to get out of the box. Remember, he had a double last night that he should have had a double. He held up at first. In fact, Chris Young threw it to third. He would have had second easy. That was a big play last night. The game was tight.
Yeah, at that time it was a close game. Gentry batting for the first time tonight. Came in as a late game sub for Mancini, who blasted 2 home runs. One a 3-run shot, the other solo drive.
That's what's so unusual about last night. No home runs tonight. What, 6 home runs tonight? Just one team got too many.
It was a shocking start to this game.
Oh.
Baltimore brought 10 men to hit in the first inning.
That's like shell shocking, isn't it?
That's what it felt like.
I'm telling you, we were like, whoa.
Down 6-0 before the Red Sox could even come to the plate. A rattler to the right side and retiring the side. Last half of the ninth coming up. 12-5 Baltimore here in game 2. Last half of the ninth inning coming up. The Orioles with a 12-5 lead. A Saturday morning, an all-new dining playbook. Billy and Jenny relax at the Inn at Hastings Park in Lexington. Plus check out Tony's Clam Shop in Quincy. Try a seasonal favorite, the lobster roll. Don't miss this and more on Dining Playbook Saturday morning at 9 on Nesson, driven by your New England Chevy dealers. And Nuno coming out of their bullpen after warming up. Mookie Betts will climb in looking for that first hit. And then Hanley Ramirez and Mitch Moreland scheduled to follow here in the ninth. Red Sox have been out hit 17-11.
Nuno's been with the Yankees. What, Seattle last year? Was it last year with Seattle? I remember this guy. I don't know if you remember this, going back a couple years. Here goes my memory again. We were coming from Seattle late night game in Seattle on a Wednesday night. Had an off day. We get in about 10 o'clock in the morning, and then the next night we played against the Yankees, and this guy shut us out for 6 innings with the Yankees, if you remember.
I do remember
and
that.
Everybody was complaining about they were tired. I mean, that's what happens. You know, people don't understand. The middle of the season, or late in the season it was, in fact, August, I think. And this guy had salad, and he shoved it up our yin-yang for like 6 innings.
Tried to hold up a swing, but Mookie went, according to home plate ump Johnson.
Anyway, not that that matters, but that's what I think of when I see this guy.
When you see Nuno.
Yes.
Your memory continues to trouble and astound me.
I know. It's like, I don't know where that comes from, but everybody's got a memory about anybody who walks out there.
Golfed up there to the Coca-Cola section.
Whoa!
Oh, you don't want that to happen.
Whoa!
Came away with a base. What a price to pay.
It could have been worse.
It could have been worse.
It could have been worse.
Had the chair not been there.
Right.
Wow.
We got it on film.
Like she's okay. Fouled away by Mookie.
She seems okay. You got to let go of that drink, I think. I don't know.
No, you're not letting go of that.
Right.
She didn't spill much either. 2-2. Well, you got to admire the effort, Dennis Eckersley.
Yes, I do. I really do. She dropped her phone. Was that her phone?
Went for the
ball.
Oh,
Whoa.
my goodness.
She got the ball. She got the ball and held the beer.
Held the beer, popped up on the infield. And that'll be out number 1. So kind of a long night for Mookie, 0 for 5. Tonight after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, we have reaction from Ottawa as the Bruins began their first round playoff series with a victory. Plus highlights from TD Garden, Celtics hosting the Bucks. NESN Sports Today presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. 1 on the 9th. Hanley Ramirez with a double and a single. He's 2 for 4. I was watching Hanley take batting practice early BP yesterday, which was his first game back from the flu, and he launched about 7 or 8 onto Lansdowne, showing no ill effects. No pun intended.
You know what? They should switch it. They talked about switching the BP so that the home BP is later. So when the fans come, they get to see home BP. Because the fans come in now, they see the opposing team, right?
I've always liked that idea.
Don't you think that's a good idea?
Always liked that idea. A lot of fans like to watch batting practice.
Yeah.
You can learn a lot about a guy watching BP.
Sometimes you don't realize what kind of power some of these guys have. You see them, and then you see them at BP, and they're launching balls. Like Ichiro, you would never know that he's just a slasher, right? And BP, you've seen him at BP. He can leave.
Hanley thought he had ball 4 there.
Probably did.
He did have ball 4.
That's ugly.
Adrian Johnson said a strike.
That's brutal.
And there's finally ball 4. So he's on base for the 3rd time. Their previous pitch
this is pretty bad, isn't it? I mean, we can laugh at it now, but that's a ball. But trying to get the game over with.
So Hanley on for the 3rd time. Mitch Moreland doubled again in the 7th inning. 6-game hitting streak. 7 doubles over that span. And look at the ball.
You wonder how that's going to work out with Hanley. Is he going to DH? He's going to play first base. When's that going to start to happen, right? Start hitting left-handers like he did down the left field line right there. Says something. Like he looks like he swings a bat pretty good against left-handed pitchers, but and you wonder how long you're going to play with Sandoval hitting right-handed too.
Pablo did crack a home run tonight, a 2-run shot into the monster seats. We'll see if that is the beginning of something for him.
He's had 2 good swings. You think about it, the 3-run bomb and then that 2-run.
Yeah, the home run he hit in Detroit brought the Red Sox back. They took the lead. Xander Bogaerts on deck. Xander has 3 hits. A couple of positives tonight, but not as far as pitching. Baltimore with 12 runs, 17 hits. I will say that Ben Taylor acquitted himself very well.
Yes, he did.
Ball 4 to Moreland, back-to-back walks. Xander is next. Took Castillo out for a mound visit as we approach 11 p.m.
4-hour piece just to stay in shape. That's what's going to happen when you give up a 9 spot the first 3, and then you know this offense is going to show up, especially against Jimenez. The only thing good about this game at this point is Jimenez didn't get the W.
Did not, even though he had a 9-0 lead.
I know, and that says something about the Red Sox.
Red Sox always seem to make him work. He only went 4 1/3, gave up 5 runs, 8 hits, so no decision. Xander Bogaerts looking for his 4th hit. It shows you how panicking about batting averages a week into the season is nonsensical.
Yeah,
because
Xander
was hitting 167 at the beginning of the night. He's hitting 313 now.
You start hooting on somebody and saying, next thing you know, they turn it around in 2 days.
Popped up right side. And Scope to make the catch. The infield fly in effect, and there are 2 down. 2 down, bottom of the 9th, and Sandoval next. Tomorrow afternoon, 2:05, Eduardo Rodriguez against Chad Kuhl of the Pirates. A 1-game series, effectively. That's the 3rd game of the 3-game series. Continuation. This one, the rain out. Hope to see you here at Fenway. And Tampa Bay in for 4. Our first look at the Rays, who have not gotten off to a bad start, even though they lost today to the Yankees 8-4.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what you see this weekend with the Rays. Who's going to get a good look.
Rick Porcello will pitch on Friday. Chris Sale on Saturday. Drew Pomerantz on Sunday. Stephen Wright on Monday. Stephen gets the honors on Patriots Day.
That's their strong suit. Tampa Bay is their starting rotation. They got Alex Cobb back, don't they, this year?
They do, and it sets up Archer, Odorizzi, Cobb, and Snell. Not bad for them.
Right. Snell, the left-hander, young left-hander, kind of wild.
Rick Porcello taking game 1. Porcello Archer, that's a darn good matchup.
Yes,
check swing.
Very good.
And no offer, says Morales. Been a long night here at Fenway. Red Sox down 12-5. Sandoval 1 for 4 with a 2-run homer. Tried to hold up, and he did. Game nearly ended on that swing.
He could have rung him up. That would have been. It would have been nicer. I don't think he went, but no, he didn't go.
Andy Ramirez at second, Moreland at first, and a high fly foul out of play. Two on and 2 out, and 2-2 on Sandoval. Pops it up. That'll probably do it. Scope in. And the game over on that play. 12-5 the final score as the Baltimore Orioles win this one. Frankly, they won it early with that barrage of home runs.
We had a sniff at it there in the 5th inning with the bases loaded, but that was the extent of it. And Jimenez didn't get the W. That's about the best thing that happened.
Yep. TC 12-5. Back at it tomorrow afternoon.